This week on Friday Night Football, it's week one of the Texas high school football season. We've got one of the iconic rivalries in the history of the state. The Ennis Lions, a preseason top 25 team in 5A Division II, head to Waxahachie for the 103rd meeting in the history of the Battle of 287. In their 102 meetings so far, they are awfully even. Waxahachie has 53 wins, Ennis has 47, and they've tied twice. This year will mark the 86th consecutive time these two teams have played, dating back to 1939. They've been playing this game since 1908. Two key players to watch in this game. First for Ennis, the Lions wide receiver Grayson Harris is a stud. Three-star recruit committed to go play SEC football at Oklahoma. A year ago, he played quarterback and receiver for the Lions. This year in his natural wide receiver spot and ready to make plays. And for Waxahachie, it's running back Wade Lemons, a key piece a year ago for Shane Tollison's team. Now Lemons ascends to the bell cow role in the offense and will see the rock a bunch at Lumpkin Stadium on Friday night. You can watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFAA+. Download WFAA Plus to your TV using Apple TV, Roku, or Amazon Fire TV.
Good evening, everybody, and happy Labor Day weekend. Friday Night Football tonight, and the game that we are excited about the most here at WFAA, the Battle of 287. That's streaming tonight on WFAA+. That's the Ennis Lions versus the Waxahachie Indians at Lumpkin Stadium in Waxahachie. The game doesn't look bad. Temperature-wise, we're great. For this time of the year, you can't ask for much better than that. Temperatures in the low to mid-80s. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Very low chance for a shower or thunderstorm. By the way, interesting stuff about this Battle of 287. This is the 86th consecutive year these schools have played together. The first ever game between them back in 1908. Okay, so there were some games in between 1908 and 86 years ago, but that was the first game ever. And our Friday night pregame show will begin at 6:50 on WFAA+, which is available on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Other high school games across the area tonight. Argyle at Frisco. That's going to be played at Frisco, the Toyota Stadium there in Frisco on Main Street. Temperatures, same thing. Not bad for this time of the year. Very low chance of rain. Kickoff at 7 p.m. We also have a game, Hebron Hawks versus Dallas Jesuit Rangers. That will be at Ranger Stadium in Dallas. Kickoff there at 7 o'clock. Temperatures low to mid 80s. And finally, another game. Many games going on. These are just a few of the many great games going on in North Texas tonight. The Aledo Bearcats versus the Denton Geyer Wildcats at C.H. Collins Stadium in Denton. Temperatures, again, not bad for this time of the year with a very low chance of rain. Enjoy your Friday evening.
This week on Friday Night Football, it's week one of the Texas high school football season. We've got one of the iconic rivalries in the history of the state. The Ennis Lions, a preseason top 25 team in 5A Division II, head to Waxahachie for the 103rd meeting in the history of the Battle of 287. In their 102 meetings so far, they are awfully even. Waxahachie has 53 wins, Ennis has 47, and they've tied twice. This year will mark the 86th consecutive time these two teams have played, dating back to 1939. They've been playing this game since 1908. Two key players to watch in this game. First for Ennis, the Lions wide receiver Grayson Harris is a stud. Three-star recruit committed to go play SEC football at Oklahoma. A year ago, he played quarterback and receiver for the Lions. This year in his natural wide receiver spot and ready to make plays. And for Waxahachie, it's running back Wade Lemons, a key piece a year ago for Shane Tollison's team. Now Lemons ascends to the bell cow role in the offense and will see the rock a bunch at Lumpkin Stadium on Friday night. You can watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFAA+. Download WFAA Plus to your TV using Apple TV, Roku, or Amazon Fire TV.
Good evening, everybody, and happy Labor Day weekend. Friday Night Football tonight, and the game that we are excited about the most here at WFAA, the Battle of 287. That's streaming tonight on WFAA+. That's the Ennis Lions versus the Waxahachie Indians at Lumpkin Stadium in Waxahachie. The game doesn't look bad. Temperature-wise, we're great. For this time of the year, you can't ask for much better than that. Temperatures in the low to mid-80s. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Very low chance for a shower or thunderstorm. By the way, interesting stuff about this Battle of 287. This is the 86th consecutive year these schools have played together. The first ever game between them back in 1908. Okay, so there were some games in between 1908 and 86 years ago, but that was the first game ever. And our Friday night pregame show will begin at 6:50 on WFAA Plus, which is available on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Other high school games across the area tonight: Argyle at Frisco. That's going to be played at Frisco, the Toyota Stadium there in Frisco on Main Street. Temperatures, same thing. Not bad for this time of the year. Very low chance of rain. Kickoff at 7 p.m. We also have a game, Hebron Hawks versus Dallas Jesuit Rangers. That will be at Ranger Stadium in Dallas. Kickoff there at 7 o'clock. Temperatures low to mid 80s. And finally, another game. Many games going on. These are just a few of the many great games going on in North Texas tonight. The Aledo Bearcats versus the Denton Guyer Wildcats at C.H. Collins Stadium in Denton. Temperatures, again, not bad for this time of the year with a very low chance of rain. Enjoy your Friday evening.
This week on Friday Night Football, it's week one of the Texas high school football season. We've got one of the iconic rivalries in the history of the state. The Ennis Lions, a preseason top 25 team in 5A Division II, head to Waxahachie for the 103rd meeting in the history of the Battle of 287. In their 102 meetings so far, they are awfully even. Waxahachie has 53 wins, Ennis has 47, and they've tied twice. This year will mark the 86th consecutive time these two teams have played, dating back to 1939. They've been playing this game since 1908. Two key players to watch in this game. First for Ennis, the Lions wide receiver Grayson Harris is a stud. Three-star recruit committed to go play SEC football at Oklahoma. A year ago, he played quarterback and receiver for the Lions. This year in his natural wide receiver spot and ready to make plays. And for Waxahachie, it's running back Wade Lemons, a key piece a year ago for Shane Tollison's team. Now Lemons ascends to the bell cow role in the offense, and we'll see the Rock a bunch at Lumpkin Stadium on Friday night. You can watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFAA Plus. Download WFAA Plus to your TV using Apple TV, Roku, or Amazon Fire TV.
Good evening, everybody, and happy Labor Day weekend. Friday night football tonight, and the game that we are excited about the most here at WFAA, the Battle of 287. That's streaming tonight on WFAA Plus. That's the Ennis Lions versus the Waxahachie Indians at Lumpkin Stadium in Waxahachie. The game doesn't look bad. Temperature-wise, we're great. For this time of the year, you can't ask for much better than that. Temperatures in the low to mid 80s. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Very low chance for a shower or thunderstorm. By the way, interesting stuff about this Battle of 287. This is the 86th consecutive year these schools have played together. The first ever game between them back in 1908. Okay, so there were some games in between 1908 and 86 years ago, but that was the first game ever. And our Friday night pregame show will begin at 6:50 on WFAA Plus, which is available on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Other high school games across the area tonight: Argyle at Frisco. That's going to be played at Frisco, the Toyota Stadium there in Frisco on Main Street. Temperatures, same thing. Not bad for this time of the year. Very low chance of rain. Kickoff at 7 p.m. We also have a game, Hebron Hawks versus Dallas Jesuit Rangers. That will be at Ranger Stadium in Dallas. Kickoff there at 7 o'clock. Temperatures low to mid 80s. And finally, another game. Many games going on. These are just a few of the many great games going on in North Texas tonight. The Aledo Bearcats versus the Denton Guyer Wildcats at C.H. Collins Stadium in Denton. Temperatures, again, not bad for this time of the year with a very low chance of rain. Enjoy your Friday evening.
This week on Friday Night Football, it's week one of the Texas high school football season. We've got one of the iconic rivalries in the history of the state. The Ennis Lions, a preseason top 25 team in 5A Division II, head to Waxahachie for the 103rd meeting in the history of the Battle of 287. In their 102 meetings so far, they are awfully even. Waxahachie has 53 wins, Ennis has 47, and they've tied twice. This year will mark the 86th consecutive time these two teams have played, dating back to 1939. They've been playing this game since 1908. Two key players to watch in this game. First for Ennis, the Lions wide receiver Grayson Harris is a stud. Three-star recruit committed to go play SEC football at Oklahoma. A year ago, he played quarterback and receiver for the Lions. This year in his natural wide receiver spot and ready to make plays. And for Waxahachie, it's running back Wade Lemons, a key piece a year ago for Shane Tollison's team. Now Lemons ascends to the bell cow role in the offense, and we'll see the Rock a bunch at Lumpkin Stadium on Friday night. You can watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFAA+. Download WFAA Plus to your TV using Apple TV, Roku, or Amazon Fire TV.
Good evening, everybody, and happy Labor Day weekend. Friday night football tonight, and the game that we are excited about the most here at WFAA, the Battle of 287. That's streaming tonight on WFAA+. That's the Ennis Lions versus the Waxahachie Indians at Lumpkin Stadium in Waxahachie. The game doesn't look bad. Temperature-wise, we're great. For this time of the year, you can't ask for much better than that. Temperatures in the low to mid-80s. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Very low chance for a shower or thunderstorm. By the way, interesting stuff about this Battle of 287. This is the 86th consecutive year these schools have played together. The first ever game between them back in 1908. Okay, so there were some games in between 1908 and 86 years ago, but that was the first game ever. And our Friday night pregame show will begin at 6:50 on WFAA+, which is available on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Other high school games across the area tonight. Argyle at Frisco. That's going to be played at Frisco, the Toyota Stadium there in Frisco on Main Street. Temperatures, same thing. Not bad for this time of the year. Very low chance of rain. Kickoff at 7 p.m. We also have a game, Hebron Hawks versus Dallas Jesuit Rangers. That will be at Ranger Stadium in Dallas. Kickoff there at 7 o'clock. Temperatures low to mid 80s. And finally, another game. Mini games going on. These are just a few of the many great games going on in North Texas tonight. The Aledo Bearcats versus the Denton Geyer Wildcats at C.H. Collins Stadium in Denton. Temperatures, again, not bad for this time of the year with a very low chance of rain. Enjoy your Friday evening.
This week on Friday Night Football, it's week 1 of the Texas high school football season. We've got one of the iconic rivalries.
There is no rivalry in North Texas with more history than this one. They've been playing it since Teddy Roosevelt was president. And today, the rivalry older than the road it's named after plays its 103rd installment as Waxahachie hosts Ennis in the Battle of 287. And with that, we welcome you inside Lumpkin Stadium. Mike Leslie and Heckma Harrison, somewhere to be revealed here momentarily. There we are. Hello and welcome to another season of Friday Night Football. We are thrilled to be here tonight for truly, Heckma, what is one of the very best rivalries in all of Texas high school football history. They've been playing this since 1908. They have played every year since 1939. 5 state championships for Ennis. Waxahachie won a state title in '92. This is one of the real great ones that there is to attend, and we get to be here tonight.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And you and I were talking about it, and I'm like, look, for 103 years, and this thing can be charted. So many fathers, sons, brothers, different communities, guys have played in this game. I mean, it goes back, obviously, 103 years.
Yeah, it's truly wild. You mentioned fathers and sons. That is one of the tethers that Sam Harrell is for this rivalry. He has coached fathers and uncles and sons and nephews throughout his time at Ennis, going all the way back to 1994. One of the real question marks tonight is whether this is the final Battle of 287 for Sam Harrell. We talked to them earlier this week. I talked to them again today. He said, listen, I certainly hope it's not. He said, if I can, I'll coach until I'm 80. But he's got now his second bout with multiple sclerosis. He said, the way that I feel right now, it could be. He wouldn't go any farther than could be. He said, I'm not making any commitments. He told us that he wants to show these kids, hey, you don't just give up. You don't quit. And he said, I'm trying to live that right now. And he's hoping he's right back here in 2025 for another Battle of 287. but it's also on the table as a possibility.
I can say this. I mean, you handled that question with care when you did ask him that, but the one thing about Coach Harrell is he is a coaching institution.
Yes.
And not only that, the city of Ennis, that community, they love him. And so regardless if he continues or if he decides to hang it up at the end of the year, he is cemented in Texas high school football.
He really is one of the all-time great coaches in Texas high school football history. Show you a little bit of what he's done over the course of his career. 3 state championships, 2000, 2001, 2004. Since coming back in 2018, he's won 48 more games for this Ennis Lions program. They've done a lot here under Sam Harrell. There's a look at what he's done over the course of his history. And the thing that I love most about this is when he needed to go to Panama to get stem cell treatment to try and fight off multiple sclerosis, the first time the town helped raise that $40,000 that he needed to travel down.
And I love when we talked to him, man, and you said, look, I just want someone to love me as much as the city of Ennis loves you. And he knows it. And he kind of played it off and played it down, but he absolutely loves this city as well and owes everything to them. And that's why he continues to come right back to the stadium and continues to coach these kids up. It's for the love that he has of the game, but also the love that he has for the city of Ennis.
Tonight's about the kids that are going to play this evening, though, as well. And there are a couple of key players to keep an eye on this evening. Let's start with our player to watch from the Ennis Lions, and that is their stud wide receiver, Grayson Harris. Depending on which recruiting service you look at, either a 3-star or a 4-star recruit on his way to Oklahoma.
I tell you what, he is a star, and this kid is not only big physically, as imposing as he is, but, man, he has hands to go with it. You know what? Coach Brett Venables in Oklahoma is getting himself a stud, and this guy is going to fit in right with that OU DNA.
Meanwhile, for Waxahachie, their running back, Wade Lemons, ascending to the main role this year. This kid is really shifty, really can make a difference, and he's running behind a really good offensive line.
Yeah, he's going to have to make a difference for this team all season long in the District of Doom. One of those guys, very high character. The coach just raves about him as a player. And look, man, They couldn't have picked a tougher opponent to start the season out against, but they need him to be big time tonight.
His mom calls him Wavy. Wavy's going to be running out there tonight for Waxahachie, and mom's hoping for a couple TDs as well. Shane Tollison said this is not a 2-team rivalry. This is a 2-town rivalry. They have played it every year since 1939. And tonight, another historic rendition in the Battle of 287 as Ennis and Waxahachie square off. It is coming your way next on Friday Night Football.
It's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkin.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Growing up in Houston, I did not see a lot of people who looked like me consistently wearing their hair natural on TV. So being a voice has always been the goal.
Through her reporting, Tashara Parker raised awareness and elevated the conversation to help the Crown Act be signed into law, prohibiting discrimination based on hairstyle and texture. You need a team you can trust to prepare you for the day.
We are making sure that you have all the information you need.
Looking out for you.
So we do have the heat advisory and the air quality alert in effect for today.
Bold reporting.
Reporting from Plano.
Red flag warning in place.
Dynamic coverage.
Live from Addison.
Original content.
We are staying on top of this story, of course. Be safe out there on the roads. It's going to be a great time.
I am up with Daybreak. What about you?
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit. It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Growing up in Houston, I did not see a lot of people who looked like me consistently wearing their hair natural on TV. So being a voice has always been the goal.
Through her reporting, Tashara Parker raised awareness and elevated the conversation to help the Crown Act be signed into law, prohibiting discrimination based on hairstyle and texture.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
From Lumpkin Stadium in Waxahachie, Friday Night Football is on the air. Mike Leslie and Heckma Harrison here with you for another season of Texas high school football. And this one, Heckma, should be a good one tonight. An Ennis team ranked in the top 20 in North Texas by the DMN. A Waxahachie team ranked in the top 20 in 6A by the DMN. Two teams that are both expected to be playoff teams this year. All of that's great. To these two towns, this is the game that matters more than anything that even might what happen in December.
Yeah, first of all, there's bragging rights between these two towns at stake right now, and this is you definitely know by the size of this crowd that this is a pretty big deal. There's traffic on the outside of this stadium, people just trying to make their way in through the traffic. Man, this is going to be outstanding.
It will be Ennis to have the football first. Waxahachie will kick off. And we are just about ready to stir it up here at Lumpkin Stadium. This Ennis offense, an Ennis football team that's coming off of a couple of somewhat down years. 5 wins and 6 wins the last couple of years, but won 12, 9, and 11 games the 3 years prior to that, 19-21. Had a 10-0 regular season in 2021. This is a program that is used to success under Sam Harrell, and they're going to try and find some more of that this year. They're expected to be one of the top 2 teams probably in District 6-5A Division II this season.
Yeah, well, one thing that you know from any time you see the Ennis Lions line up, they are going to have a run-heavy team. Even though Coach Harrell says, look, we're trying to get away from that. We want to pass this ball around a little bit. So this Waxahachie defense is going to be tested early.
Ethan Guillen to kick it away, drives Grayson Harris back into his own end zone, and it will be a touchback. Ennis will start at their own 25, and out comes the junior quarterback, Xander Hinton. New starting quarterback here for 2024, wearing number 11. Coming up from JV, hasn't had any varsity experience before tonight. Certainly a big spot, Heckma, for him this evening as he takes over this Ennis offense. They had 2 quarterbacks, or 2 wide receivers really, playing the quarterback position a year ago. Grayson Harris as well as Wanda Mae Davis, who's now at UTEP. This year, number 11 there at the middle of your screen, he takes over and he's more of a traditional pass the football down the field style QB.
Well, first thing I'm going to be looking at Xander Hinton is, does he have the jitters? First time Friday Night Lights, how big are his eyes going to be? And so right now, handling the ball, you see that first handoff, he goes to the wrong side. But look, he's going to have to work those things out early here in the first quarter.
It's Farsi, Jamarquez Farsi, who takes the handoff. The diminutive seniors, 5'6", 142, replacing Jeremy Brown. Head coach Sam Harrell told us earlier this week Jeremy was a good one. They're disappointed to lose him to graduation, but Farsi, they really like what he can do. He is so tiny, he can kind of hide behind the offensive line. Picks up 2 on the first play. He'll get the handoff again here on 2nd down and 8 and tries to lower his shoulder into the pile and picks up a couple more. It's going to be 3rd and 6.
Well, you say diminutive one, but hey, he lowers his shoulder trying to pick up some more yards, so he doesn't know that he's small in stature. But you're right, when we talked with Coach Harrell, he was just still glowing about Jeremy Brown and just saying, man, he was our bell cow. He was the guy that we got behind, and now it's a new day. We have a guy that we consider to be a scat back and definitely can go from 0 to 100.
That was a screen they tried to set up for Grayson Harris, and he got blown up before the ball even got there. Cade Pointer, the senior defensive end, there to blow it up, and it's 4th down and 6, and Ennis will have to punt.
If Cade Pointer had his head on a swivel, he may have been able to pick that ball off and head to the end zone. And so he was just alignment and assignment right there, not thinking about even making the play on the ball. But man, that was bang, bang, bang.
So 3 and out for Ennis on the first possession of the football game. 1 minute even into the game. And Hinton, their quarterback, also their punter, will punt it away. Line drive punt up the near sideline. And Waxahachie will let it bounce. Michael Esparza was deep to return. Grayson Harris will down it. And Waxahachie will take over with the football, 1st and 10 at their own 27.
There is a flag down on the play. And one of the early things that I'm looking at, Mike, is obviously special teams always struggles early in the season. I mean, it's just not something that you can practice at length.
Looks like it's an unsportsmanlike conduct against Ennis, so that is going to give Waxahachie terrific field position right out of the gates.
Yeah, chippy right away, right? And so don't tell me that these communities, there's nothing at stake right now, even though Ennis being 5A and Waxahachie 6A. These are 2 teams in 2 towns that are going to compete until that final buzzer sounds in the 4th quarter.
What's at stake tonight is who has bragging rights tomorrow at HEB. Like that's really what this is going to come down to, is which town gets to talk trash. A 15-yard penalty on Ennis on the punt. Instead of at their own 27, Waxahachie takes over at their 42. And here is the sophomore quarterback, Jerry Meyer III. Transferring in from Nevada, where last year as a freshman he threw 58 touchdown passes to set a state record. First play of the game, a handoff to Lemons. He gets out the back door and picks up a 1st down.
And I tell you what, you see it right away from Waby. If his mama called him Waby, I'm going to call him Waby. But Waby Lemons, man, he is so special. Seeing the way that he gets around that edge and gets positive yards for a 1st down, that is exactly what you want to do with a sophomore quarterback. Get in the rhythm of this running game and make short throws and easy things for the young man until you open this offense all the way up.
This Waxahachie team is an experienced group, 7 starters back on both sides of the ball. Went 12 games last year, 2 rounds deep into the playoffs. 9-3 under now 4th-year head coach Shane Tollison, who feels like he's building something here. Lemons with the carry again, picks up 7 on the play. He's the former defensive coordinator at Denton Ryan, so he knows a thing or two, Heckma, about leading a state championship program. That's what he's trying to build here in the toughest district in all of Texas high school football, with Duncanville and DeSoto just up the road. But he's got something working down here in Waxahachie. Flags before the snap. Ennis pointing at the Waxahachie offensive line. About 600 of you with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel. Let us know where you're tuning in from, who your favorite player is on either one of these 2 teams. Let us know who you think's going to win tonight. in the 103rd Battle of 287. Second down and 8 after the penalty. Waxahachie a year ago averaged 27 a game under offensive coordinator Scott Reynolds. Now a timeout. Ennis calls the timeout prior to that second down and 8.
Thanking you for holding the rope. America's legacy.
These are two of the more historic programs in all of Texas high school football. Certainly Ennis with their 5 championships. Let's take you back to 2001. The best team in Ennis Lions history, the perfect 16-0 state champions of 01, led by Sam Harrell, Sam's son, just a sophomore that year. Here hitting Brother Jones on a 52-yard touchdown pass. He had 2 touchdown passes, this touchdown run. The Ennis defense pitched a shutout, and the Lions capped off a second straight state championship with a 21-0 win over Bay City. They would win 3 in 5 years, 2000, 2001, and 2004. 5 state titles in total in their history. Out of the timeout, second down and 8. Quick throw near side. That one's in and out of the hands of the intended target, Trenton Kidd. And another scenario, Heckma, where if the defender saw it, could have been a pick.
Yeah, guys got to get their head turned around and look for the ball. That is a great play on the outside there. But boy, lucky to get that one back. Is the sophomore quarterback. But now I want to go back to something you were saying earlier about Coach Tolleson. And in our interview with him, man, he's just a great guy to talk to. I'll wait till after this play.
Third down and 8. Key spot here for this Ennis defense trying to get off the field. Meyer looking, sideline, complete, first down. Christian Gardner.
Sorry about that. That's a beautiful ball. But Coach Tolleson, he comes in from Denton Ryan, and he knows all about building a culture. And I think that was the main thing that he wanted to do with his incoming freshmen. He's like, look, guys, we have to build something because we're in a district that no one is giving us a chance. And so we have to level our level of play up to be able to match the likes of the DeSotos and the Duncanvilles in our district.
First and 10. There you saw the kid Meyer, the quarterback who threw 58 touchdowns a year ago, led Lake Mead in Nevada to a state championship. Here hits Cohen Brown over the middle for another first down inside the 15.
Wow. And I love that route run right there by Cohen Brown, just a simple crosser, but even better by Jerry Meyer III, being able to recognize that coverage and find his wide receiver in an open zone.
So first and 10 for Waxahachie at the Ennis 13-yard line. Just a little over 3 minutes in, and the Indians are threatening. Lemons cutting to the outside. Breaks a tackle to the 5.
Got to credit Mason Jones right there on the solo tackle. Man, these guys are going to have to try and get to the ball to get a stop here. Because I tell you what, this offensive line, they're doing a good job of sealing these guys off on the backside.
Dan Shipp saying he's watching from Fayetteville, North Carolina tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. Dan Shipp says Indians will keep that 287 sign again. Their defense needs to come up with a stop here. Second down and 2 at the 5. Lemons again. Driving. End zone. Short.
Oh, they got him right at the 1-yard line. Looked like he was able to get his body across there at the last minute, but the referee's right on it. They signal him down at the, let's call it the 1-foot line.
Inside that 1 for sure, and it is first and goal for Waxahachie. Straight eye behind Meyer. Pushing, driving, driven back. The Ennis defense and Kingston Parker. And a loss of a yard or 2 for Lemons.
But you gotta love that right there from number 42. Kingston Parker is sitting out there. He's not gonna lose contain, but he's also not gonna get pushed back into the end zone. That's a great job by the guy that they call the leader of their defense, Big Kingston Parker, 6'3", 263 pounds.
Big play by Parker. Moved in a few years ago from Arkansas. Sam Harrell said he can really run for his size. Really athletic kid. Makes a huge play there to give the Ennis defense a chance. Lemons again. And again, the Ennis defensive front in the backfield.
Hand off to Lemons.
Jamarian Wofford leading the charge on the tackle, and it's 3rd and goal.
Wofford getting in the backfield quickly, getting in between these offensive linemen. And how about this, the bow up here from the Lions, not allowing the Indians to get an easy score here in the first quarter.
Third and goal from the 1. A little wildcat here with Lemons taking the direct snap. Looking for a hole, and he's got one. Touchdown, Waxahachie.
And that's worth the price of admission right there. When you see the wildcat come on, and Wade Lemons does everything but get into the end zone right there, and the score is open here by the Waxahachie Indians with a little step there at the end by Wade.
Lemons scored 8 touchdowns a year ago on the ground. He's got his first here in 2024. Little swinging gate formation. Will they indeed go for it? They will go for 2. Handoff here to Cohen Brown. He's going to try and get the edge, flips it backside, and it's incomplete. He had Tristan Gardner in the back corner of the end zone. Creative play design doesn't quite pop for him.
Oh, man, it's hard to throw that football on the run.
6-0 Waxahachie, mid-first quarter on Friday Night Football.
First quarter, the score is Waxahachie 6, Ennis 0.
You need a team you can trust to prepare you for the day.
We are making sure that you have all the information you need.
Looking out for you.
So we do have the heat advisory and air quality alert in effect for today.
Bold reporting.
Reporting from Plano.
Red flag warning in place.
Dynamic coverage.
Live from Addison.
Original content.
We are staying on top of this story, of course. Be safe out there on the roads. It's going to be a great time.
I am up with Daybreak. What about you?
Waxahachie won a state championship in 1992. Their fans dreaming of the chance. Quarterback Lamont Moore ran for 3 touchdowns in the game, including this 47-yarder in the third quarter to give Waxahachie a 14-10 lead, and they went 16-0 that year. Back out of the break, and there was a penalty on the PAT that Waxahachie failed on, so they ultimately decide to wipe out that try, go for just the 1, and they punch through the PAT. So now 7-0 Waxahachie after the 2-yard touchdown run from Wade Lemons to open up the score.
So they thought better of the decision that they originally went with and went for the PAT. I like that. I mean, if life was just that gentle to give you a do-over.
Right? The Ennis band ready to take the field here in a quarter and a half's time. We will bring you the Friday Night Football halftime show. The Ennis High School Marching Band under the direction of Gary Goodwin. The Ennis High School Lionettes Dance and Drill Team will take the field too. After that, the Spirit of Waxahachie Indian Band and the Cherokee Charmers, the 2022 National Champion Drill Team from Waxahachie. All that to come on the Friday Night Football halftime show. Waxahachie opening this football game with a touchdown on their opening possession. Wade Lemons carrying the ball several times on the drive. Also a couple of key hookups by the sophomore quarterback, Jerry Meyer. Shane Tollison said it. He's not your average sophomore, and we saw him make a couple of nice strikes on that drive to move the chains and get them deeper into Ennis territory. And the Indians pay it off.
Mike, I love what I saw from him. He was very calm and composed. Didn't seem like everything. It's too big, small in this moment. He finds a way to compete, finds open receivers, and again, I love the composure from the transfer in from Nevada.
So now Ennis has to find themselves an answer. This is a team, as we talked with Sam Harrell earlier this week, that this rivalry has changed through the years. It used to be that these two towns were very, very similar, and that fed the rivalry. Waxahachie has grown in a way that Ennis hasn't grown quite the same way. Now Waxahachie is this big 6A school playing in one of the biggest district in the state. and Ennis is a 5A Division II program. They're very different programs at this point, but it's a game that means so much to both of these towns. They still play it, even though there's become a bit of a competitive imbalance through the years. Ennis, though, trying to battle through that. They've won in recent years. There have been some games that have gotten sideways. Waxahachie won a game a few years back, 42-2, but they have played some tight ones as well, and Ennis has gotten some wins recently, too. They're trying to get one tonight here on the road as Hinton on 2nd down and 9 goes to the air near side looking for Grayson Harris. The over-the-shoulder catch and a flag. First down in Waxahachie territory at the 40.
Yeah, somebody may want to cue in Grayson Harris about, Ennis being a smaller school, because that was a big-time play by Grayson Harris. Fade route. Ball lands in his hands perfectly. What a throw right there from Xander Hinton, and that's the kind of confidence you want to give your first-time varsity player.
The penalty was a hold on Waxahachie, so the play stands, and that's a huge hit from Demarion Cooper, the 11-6A newcomer of the year in 2023, obliterates Jamarquez Farsi.
I'm telling you, I could not wait to get to the stadium to see Demarion Cooper. When you watch this kid, the highlights from last season, you know why he won Newcomer of the Year. He plays with a reckless abandon.
2nd down and a dozen after the loss. To the air again, pressure, Hinton able to get away. Still looking downfield, fires and completes it. Nice catch by Lamarion McGowan in traffic. And Ennis with a first down on 2nd and a dozen.
Man, what a gamble here by Xander Hinton. He thought he was going to run for it. He throws that ball into traffic. There is a defender right there. Micah Cook has an opportunity to make a play on the ball. I think Micah Cook was even surprised that he threw it.
I'm impressed with Xander Hinton's confidence in his own ability to throw the football, because he did throw that into a tight window. This time chased down from behind. And it's Cooper again, this time getting the sack. And it'll be 2nd down and 13.
And Cooper is just a junior, right? Just a junior, 6 foot, 190 pounds. This kid is going to get bigger. But Mike, all night, keep your eyes on 21. He is sideline to sideline and a sure tackler.
Hinton, the junior, coming up from JV. 2nd and 13, pressure in his face again, able to dance away, and he'll pick up a yard or 2. But Micah Sparza there to end the play.
And you can tell Hinton is keeping his eyes up the field. He's one of these guys, he doesn't want to run the ball. He still wants to try and find his receivers wide open. What you don't want to do is lose yardage like that, because look, this Indians defense, man, they're starting to clamp down the closer they get to that end zone.
Sam Harrell told us he's a true quarterback. He wants to throw the football down the field. He said coming up from JV, though, can he deal with the speed of the game? That's a big question mark in his very first varsity start. And hey, kid, come play in our biggest rivalry game. Tough spot, trying to step up, looks over the middle, and it's picked off. Intercepted up the near sideline by Eli Thompson. Thompson's got a convoy across midfield. Eli Thompson chased from behind, but will not be caught. Touchdown, Waxahachie. There is a flag down at the 48-yard line.
And Eli Thompson, he's just sitting back out here in this deep third area, man, and that is a bad throw for Xander Hinton. He puts it out into an area where there is no one to stop it. That is a score for the Indians, unless there was some type of blocking in the back.
It does look like they are walking back. The flag sitting at the 48-yard line on Waxahachie's side of the field.
Oh. And being a former defensive guy, that just sucks, man, because you know what? You want those moments, man, for a pick six house call. Come on now. I mean, these guys practice this, but, man, it's a hard thing to turn that defense in your head off, man. And that's the thing, there can't be any illegal crackbacks or crackback blocks or anything like that. So they take all that away from the defensive guys, man.
It negates a 94-yard pick six for Eli Thompson. And it will bring the football back Let's see where they'll spot it. The flag dropped at the 48. It looks like they will ultimately determine that the infraction happened at the 50, so the ball will come to the 35. And Waxahachie's offense will get back to work. The interception for Thompson, of course, does stand. And Waxahachie takes over thanks to the pick. And here comes Jerry Meyer in this offense again.
And Xander Hinton, he dodged the bullet right there, because that would have been a critical error right there for your junior. You know, he just put that ball in harm's way. And it's a learning process with his first game.
So 1st and 10 from the 35 for Meyer. Over the middle, complete. Tristan Gardner breaking away across midfield. Tristan Gardner gets a big block. That's going to draw another flag. They took that hit out of the game. Gardner's down inside the 5. But that blindside block, they took that out of the game to try and protect these football players. You can't do that anymore. It used to be that was, hey, what a play. You got to see. This is a huge highlight. What a great play. It's not part of football anymore.
And look, it's one of those things where you're protecting players, and we were just talking about it on that interception. That was a house call. You cannot do this anymore. Calling this, you know, a defenseless player. So you got to teach that different.
Lamadrick Daniels, the offending party, blowing up Jaquarius Malone. So Waxahachie now with 2 15-yard penalties that have negated one sure touchdown and another near touchdown to again bring the football back to, we'll see exactly where they determine, maybe the 37 would be my guess.
And it's just so hard in the moment to teach football players not to go after a potential tackler in that way, the same as the block in the back, the crack back on defense. That's tough, and this crowd here does not agree with it.
I think they don't like it. I think if you have eyes, you saw that it happened. There's no question about it. It was an infraction. It's just not part of the game anymore. Now, I understand the old heads that may be like, whoa, 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 this is how we played back in the day. I hear you. It's not how we play anymore. If you want the game, listen, you're raising your hand.
I am said old head. But I'm a broadcaster, so I got to play it safe.
Well, it's just, listen, do we want the game to still exist in 50 years?
We do.
That's why. Look at this from Trenton Kidd breaking away. Waxahachie is picking up yardage with ease here in this first quarter, down inside the 30.
So the one thing that I'm noticing right now is this sophomore, Jerry Meyer III, is really a cool customer. He's sitting back there, he's reading this defense, and he's picking these guys apart and finding his guys in areas where they can make a play out on the ball after the catch.
So 1st and 10 for Waxahachie at the 26-yard line. Shane Tollison's team, 9-3 a year ago. Lost a tight one against Rockwall, 46-43 in the playoffs. A year after, they beat Rockwall in that round and went a round deeper in the playoffs. Meyer, that's got to be a hold, I would think. And yes, the flag does drop. Incomplete the pass is, but that's going to be
Gavin Ford just protecting his quarterback, not allowing the defender to get a free release, free hit on his quarterback.
It goes down as basically the same net result as a sack, and arguably maybe a half measure better because you saved the down. So why not protect your quarterback? And if you're beat that badly, there is some logic to just taking the holding penalty.
Now let me ask you this, you being a former quarterback, you see this young man Jerry Meyer come on, and obviously sophomore, he's hitting his guys in stride. There were some question marks about him coming into this game.
Oh yeah.
I think after just a few minutes, all those question marks have gone away.
Listen, the level he was playing in Nevada is very much not 6A Texas high school football. However, as a freshman, he threw 58 touchdown passes and led them their first state championship ever. The kid can spin it, and he has shown that here in the early going. He's the real deal. Yes. He made a big impression as Lemons is taken down. Beg your pardon, it's not Lemons this time. It's Bryson Lanier, their other running back, taken down for a short gain, 2nd down and 17 for a 3rd down and 17 forthcoming. He made a big impression on his very first day as still a freshman technically this last spring, moving in from Nevada, went around and introduced himself to every kid in the program, talked about the days that he goes and throws, if they want to join up, if they want to come out with him and start to develop a rapport. He came in and was a leader from the word go, impressed these coaches and won over this program. Flips it near side. Somehow that ball is caught, hauled in by Lamadrick Daniels, even though he was closely covered by Jamarian Wofford, and it's close to a first down. It's going to be 4th down and 2, and it's going to give Waxahachie a chance here.
And I'm trying to figure out, Wofford is right there in the hip pocket of the receiver, Daniels, and how Daniels comes down with that ball is man, that was an amazing play right there for Lamadrick Daniels.
It did say it was 3rd down and 17. Now somehow it's 3rd down and 2. Something was wrong. Evidently the officials have corrected it. 3rd and 2. Handoff to Wade Lemons, and he's got the first down just outside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, right now I'm enjoying what's happening up front. This offensive line for the Waxahachie Indians, man, they are taking it to this front. And guys like Kingston Parker up front, they've got to figure out a way. Jamarcus Dickerson, all of this beef that they have up front, they've got to find a way to kind of stop this running attack from the Indians, because they're having their way, as you see them right there pick up that crucial first down in the red zone.
Final 30 seconds of the opening quarter here on Friday Night Football. Meyer hands off to Lemons, burrowing into the chest of Noah Berry. It'll be 2nd down and 5 when we start quarter number 2 here in Waxahachie on Friday Night Football.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delcus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Right now in
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than
Indian football. They stand ready to assist you
Stay
in
tuned
planning
for
your
Friday Night
next
Football
round.
halftime show, sponsored by Golden Chick. Golden Chick is the perfect post-game destination. Come in and see why we say one taste and you're golden at Golden Chick.
We will have the Ennis High School Marching Band, the Ennis High School Lionettes at halftime, along with the Spirit of Waxahachie Indian Band under the direction of Rich Armstrong and the Cherokee Charmers. That and more coming your way at halftime. Halftime stats, halftime highlights, and more in 12 minutes worth of game time here on Friday Night Football.
Yeah, so far in this first quarter, loving the way that Waxahachie's come out, and they're just obviously very aggressive, sometimes overly aggressive, but that is going to serve them well as you go forward. Those are things that I'm sure that when you go back and Coach Tolson and he looks at the tape, he's going to be like, look, guys, if we take these couple of things out, maybe we're up by 21 points in the first quarter.
How can Ennis get a stop here?
Yeah, they just got to bow up. They've got to find a way to get a stop. I mean, obviously, they're going to turn around and get this ball to Wade Lemons, and they've got to get a stop on this running back that's having his way with him.
Meyer, the sophomore QB, looking near side as they change the play. End zone shot, open back corner, Cohen Brown got a foot in. No, incomplete.
Oh, I can't wait to see the replay on that, because Cohen Brown looked like he was right there as you see the ball going to the corner, and we're looking for, that was close.
That is really close.
Oh, that was close. Well, there's no replay. There's no replay into the state title, so like no way of going back and reversing that. But man, that looked good from where we were.
Man, it's really close, because that 1 foot that was still on the ground before he stepped on the sideline, did he have the ball yet before that toe came up? I'm not certain. 3rd down and 5. Lemons looking backside wide open. Incomplete. Meyer had Lemons open but overshot him.
And that's, I think, when the sophomore goes back and looks at this play, if he could just be a little bit more patient right there, and I'm saying be patient, but he has Kingston Parker in his face, so that's the only reason why he rushed the throw. Otherwise, that's an easy touchdown.
And that is a big sequence here for this Ennis defense to get a couple of consecutive stops on 2nd and 3rd and 5 and force Waxahachie to attempt the field goal. Ethan Guillen will come on for a 24-yarder. Nolan Bernard, the holder. That could have been a false start. No flag flies. The field goal is no good. Wide to the left, and it will stay 7-0 Waxahachie. Ennis and their defense and special teams get away with one here.
Yeah, you got to feel good about that. Obviously, you don't want to give up points there, but the way that your defense is playing, obviously on the other side for the Indians, it's been a lot of self-inflicted wounds, and there's two ways to look at that. We're beating ourselves here in the first half. Relax, okay? Go out there, do what we do and what we practice, because they have guys running wide open right now, and Jerry Meyer, just the third, just needs to settle in and find these open receivers.
Waxahachie was looking at a 14-0 lead. A penalty on the pick six from Eli Thompson negated that. The blindside block on the deep downfield completion to Tristan Gardner negated that play that would have had them 1st and goal at like the 4. Multiple penalties on that drive, negating big chunks of yardage for Waxahachie, and then the missed field goal, and all that ends up going for naught. That is huge. Pop pass over the middle here to start the possession for Ennis, and straight up the middle of the field goes Aiden Jones, and he's got the ball stripped from behind. Waxahachie football. Jaquan Snell, the superstar sophomore, comes away with the recovery, and the Indians take it back.
Aiden Jones is running for what feels like forever. And man, what a complete hustle play by Jaquan Snell, chasing the ball down and stripping it at the last minute. That is heads up and just a baller play right there from the sophomore.
Jaquan Snell was just named a 4-star recruit by 24/7 Sports. He's one of the top 10 players in the state of Texas in the sophomore class, and he just showed you why right there. That is an outstanding play. He did the chase down, he got the strip, he made the recovery, did it all by himself, and completely wiped out the biggest play of the game yet for Ennis. Now the completion here on the first play of the possession for Waxahachie to Cohen Brown, and he is swallowed up, but not before he moves the chain.
Man, this guy Jerry Meyer III, I am starting to see some really cool things from this kid. He's not under a ton of pressure, but what he is doing is keeping his eyes up the field, making his reads. He's not staring down wide receivers, but every time he finds these guys, they're in between defenders. He's not trying to make those tight throws. He's getting the ball right into those guys in a comfortable place.
1st and 10 at the 38. Meyer with a little pocket pass here right up the middle. Helmet ripped off. They're going to blow this play dead, and for good reason, as Trenton Kidd did not have any protection any longer after what was clearly a face mask ripped his helmet clear off his head.
Yeah, I think that's an indication that that's a face mask penalty. You see his head rip around here.
Goodness.
Yeah. Good thing there's no head in that helmet, the way that he spun around.
I'll say this too. If I'm Shane Tollison or somebody on the Waxahachie coaching staff, I may say, hey, Trenton, come here. Buckle that thing up a little tighter, would you please?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, it shouldn't come off that easy.
Well, look, the way that he got yanked around
That's
there,
fair.
Mike, I'm
That's
just
fair.
saying, like, a face mask is a face mask, but when you get yanked around, you have to change the whole trajectory of the direction you're going in. That's serious.
Yeah, he got hogtied.
Yeah.
1st and 10 at the 39 in Ennis territory after the penalty. Meyer setting up the screen. Gardner with blockers, makes a man miss. Another flag. 2 more flags.
Oh. It's credit the offensive coordinator, because that was a beautiful play.
Yeah.
Setting up that screen, and I think it caught the Lions off balance. It'd be a holding penalty here, boy. Haven't we seen a bunch of self-inflicted penalties and just unfortunate events? You see that fumble there from Ennis, their first self-inflicted wound, so to speak, here in the first half, because that looked like that was supposed to be a touchdown and they fumble. Obviously, it's been documented what Waxahachie has done here in the first half to take points off of the board. Somebody's going to settle in and go ahead and take command of this game.
This is high school football in August.
Yes,
this
sir.
This is why coaches have gray hair. Week 1 is going to lead to some issues like this where you just don't have all the kinks worked out. After the penalty, first down and 16. Meyer throwing against his body, bobbled, and did somehow Tristan Gardner catch that football? Yes, he did. First down, Waxahachie. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, how Tristan Gardner comes down with this. He bobbles once, not twice, but 3 times in between 3 defenders and comes down with the ball. He loses his shoe. It's the only thing he does lose is his shoe.
Chris Trent, the junior corner for Ennis, has got to be feeling, how did I not pick that football off, as it was right there in his lap? But Gardner squeezes it. The transfer from Mesquite Horn moves the chains. First and 10, Waxahachie at the 28.
And don't forget that he played at Dallas Lincoln for his freshman and
yes,
sophomore
he did.
year too. So
you know a thing or two about Lincoln.
A thing or two.
Over the middle, ripped down from behind is Trenton Kidd.
Tell you, number 44, Cash Hendricks. He has been a safety valve over here on defense. For if not for a couple of his touchdowns, man, it would have been easy. Excuse me, a couple of his tackles, it would have been easy touchdowns.
About 1,100 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Please click the like button, click the share button, and send this stream out to all your friends in the Ennis and Waxahachie communities. Let them know we're broadcasting the game tonight. First and 10 at the 17. Handoff to Waby. Right up the middle, big hole, bouncing off tacklers, and it's first and goal.
This is a dangerous combination of pass and run.
And it's Lanier on the run, my apologies, not Wade Lemons, and he is punishing.
Hey, they look a lot alike. They run with that low center of gravity, and they do know how to deliver a lick when they get there.
Lemons 5'9", 190, Lanier 5'8", 180.
Twins.
It's Lanier now. Tried to make Cash Hendricks miss in the backfield and could not.
Sometimes you need a linebacker to do exactly what Cash Hendricks does. He reads his keys, comes downhill, and makes the stop.
Cash Hendricks, another one of those guys who's playing for Sam Harrell after his father played for Sam Harrell back in the day. I'm sorry, his uncle played for Sam Harrell. He's cousins with Ryder Newman, who also plays on this team, whose father played for Sam Harrell back in the 90s. Second down and goal. Meyer flushed, chased, trouble.
He's out of the pocket, but does he get it back to the line of scrimmage?
There's going to be a discussion, and they will drop a flag here for intentional grounding on the sophomore Jerry Meyer.
Maybe the only mistake we've seen Meyer make tonight.
Yeah. And listen, Shane Tollison said it to us earlier this week. There's going to be moments where he is a sophomore. He's going to do some sophomore things. Honestly, he was running for his life from Kingston Parker, so I don't blame him. But you'd love to at least try and get it back to the line of scrimmage. I think if he had tried to throw it away a second earlier, if he had made the decision that half a beat faster, then you could have avoided the intentional grounding penalty. This is a loss of down penalty, so it's now going to be third down and goal from all the way back at the 21-yard line.
Well, let me ask you this. Coach Tollison, when we talked to him, he basically was talking about his sophomore quarterback, and it wasn't that he was doubting. It just felt like there were questions that he was looking for tonight to be answered.
Right. Until you see it in a game, you don't know for certain. I think they're very high on what this kid can do. But hey, now go do it on the field. He's going to try to here on third and goal. Looking end zone. Just beyond his intended target, Lamadrick Daniels. And it's fourth down.
Trying to drop that one in a bucket. Just not able to get it to number 5, Lamadrick Daniels. Woo. On the fade route.
So we saw Waxahachie miss a field goal from shorter, a 24-yarder a little bit ago. This one would be from 38, and it looks like they will bring Ethan Guillen out to try from the left hash.
Well, this is going to be big time. Again, is able to get this one to go.
The snap from Paris Feaster, the hold from Nolan Bernard from 38 in the left hash. Oh, plenty of leg, no good. Wide to the left this time.
Our vantage point is so bad because I thought that was money from where we are.
There was plenty of leg on it. I don't blame Shane Tollison and his coaching staff for believing that he could go out there and hit it, because clearly he's got enough leg to hit from probably 45, the way that thing sailed past the uprights from 38. But that's now 2 big Waxahachie possessions where they've had some great offensive plays, where they've done a lot of really good things and worked their way down into either goal to go or darn close. And both times they come up empty, and it stays 7-0 here, 4 minutes and 16 seconds into the second quarter.
I'll tell you what, when you're looking at this offensive and defensive coordinator, the father and son duo of Paul and Chase Willingham, they've got to be telling their guys, look, we're in this game, guys. We just need something to happen for us. And it doesn't matter if it happens on special teams, offensive or defensive. We just got to get some momentum going right now. They have no air in their cells, and they're completely playing on the defensive.
A loss of a yard there for Xander Hinton. They need to try and get Grayson Harris, the senior on his way to Oklahoma, involved. Sam Harrell told us earlier this week, he said, we don't usually have kids that are at his level that Oklahoma wants to say, hey, come play for us. He said, that's not normal for us at Ennis. He's a special kid, and they need to find a way to get Zero the football. They try to here, but there's nowhere for him to go, and it's to Marion Cooper again.
And you can tell why Oklahoma has come knocking, because of the kind of athlete he is out on the outside. But that is just a beautiful tackle. And I told you, this guy, number 21, Marion Cooper, he has some speed to go with it himself.
3rd down and 13 in a blink.
And what do you dial up here for Xander Hinton, who has been struggling a little bit here in the first half? You talk about a guy that needs a jolt of confidence, and that's your junior quarterback, Xander Hinton.
This offense scored 30 a game a year ago, but nowhere for Hinton to go. Crumpled up in the backfield, and it's 4th down.
Cade Pointer comes around that corner, and I'm telling you, Xander Hinton, somebody should have yelled, look out, because his Pointer comes literally unblocked off the edge.
Shane Tollison said it to us earlier this week. I just hope they don't figure him out yet. Yeah. Talking about Cade Pointer, he said he's special. We really like what this kid can do. He said he felt like he was still a little bit of a secret, though, from the rest of the area, that nobody really knew yet what he can do. Making plays like that, the area is going to figure it out. So now Ennis is going to have to punt from their own end zone. Hinton, the quarterback. This one less of a line drive than earlier. Bounces at the 40 and out of bounds. And Waxahachie is going to take over with great field position in Ennis territory.
And one thing about it, what I'm going to be watching for this Lions defense is, are these guys getting tired? They have been on the field for a lot of this first half, and man, having to put up with a Waxahachie Indian offense that's giving them all that they can handle from a running game and also in the air.
Sam Harrell, the head coach of the Ennis Lions, coaching from the booth tonight. The legendary 3-time state championship winning head coach. Coached from the booth a year ago, doing so again this year. One of the all-time legends of Texas high school football. We mentioned it earlier that he certainly hopes this is not his final year. He feels like, the way that he feels right now, it's on the table. But he said, listen, I'm trying to show these kids you don't quit. Big hit. Breaking through it, though, is Kidd. Trenton Kidd able to get to the outside, and that's going to draw a flag as he got spun around out of bounds. And another unforced error, this time on Ennis.
Yeah, that's a kind of a bonehead play right there by number 24, Mason Jones. Gets a hold of number 1 there. Well, that wasn't Mason Jones. That's number 55.
Damian Baser that whipped him down out of bounds.
And positive yards for this Waxahachie Indians offense. But like I said, this defense, they've been playing a lot of reps here in this first half. And hey, it's a beautiful afternoon. 86 degrees in Waxahachie. I don't know where summer went all of a sudden, but I'll take it. Better than 105.
It is much more comfortable tonight than it has been in other week ones of the Texas high school football season in recent years. There have been years where we've had to push kickoffs back an hour to be able to give these kids a little bit of a reprieve. Not necessary tonight. 1st and 10 at the 21 for Meyer. Handoff Lemons. Nowhere to go.
Yeah, Kingston Parker is having himself a night, playing discipline. Sometimes, man, at playing that end position, you're always in a mode where you want to rush the passer and get up the field. That's a great way, great read right there by Kingston Parker, just staying down the line of scrimmage and getting that tackle.
Based Goon in the YouTube comments.
Based Goon.
Evidently a fan of Waxahachie says, we're beating Duncanville this year. The confidence is high in Waxahachie.
Let's go. Gotcha.
2nd down and 9. They're going to try this play again on the reverse. This time some running room up the near sideline. Whipped down on the sideline on that reverse is Micah Cook. Not quite enough for the first down. It's going to be 3rd down and 2.
They're trying to get behind that speed of Micah Cook. Like you said, this is the second time that they've come back to that little reverse. They're trying to get him out of that back door because they know this Ennis Lions defense is pursuing. That's a good job staying at home on the backside and getting that stop. But this is going to bring up a 3rd and manageable for sure for Waxahachie.
3rd and manageable, but we have seen them fail on 3rd downs now a few times down deep here and have to settle for field goals that they have missed. They've got to get to the 11 for a 1st down. Lemons, with a defender on his back, drags Kingston Parker for the 1st down.
Wow. And that's exactly what he did, was drag Kingston Parker, because Wavy just knows where the marker is, and he's just trying to get there to get that 1st down.
Shane Tollison said it to us earlier this week. He said, when you see Wade Lemons, you got to walk up to him and say, what's up, Wavy? And he said, I promise you, he will grin ear to ear. And sure enough, before the game, we did exactly that. And he started smiling big. I think he really got a kick out of that. He gets the handoff again, and he crashes his way inside the 5. 2nd down and goal for Waxahachie at the 4.
Whew. You got to watch this. The senior center, 6'2", 280, Ty Campa is down there. He has the stadium smelling like an IHOP right now. Some pancaking going on.
There is an IHOP like right over there too.
Is that what I'm smelling?
2nd down and goal from the 4. Wavy again, looking for a crease. He's got another. Wade Lemons with his 2nd touchdown run of the year. Waxahachie's in the end zone again.
And look at the patience right here from Wavy, recognizing that things are clogged up. And it's, look, no sense in putting my head up in that traffic. I'm going to find a way outside. He sees it open up, and he runs straight to pay dirt and the score. I'm telling you, this Ennis Lions defense, they're exhausted.
3:10 left in the half. Again, the swinging gate here. We'll see if they go for it again. They will. Meyer, end zone. Did he cross the plane? Yes, indeed. 2 more. Bryson Lanier on the receiving end, and it's 15-0 Waxahachie. Late 2nd quarter on Friday Night Football.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
You need a team you can trust to prepare you for the day.
We are making sure that you have all the information you need.
Looking out for you.
So we do have the heat advisory and air quality alert in effect for today.
Bold reporting.
Reporting from Plano.
Red flag warning in place.
Dynamic coverage.
Live from Addison.
Original content.
We are staying on top of this story, of course. Be safe out there on the roads. It's going to be a great time.
I am up with Daybreak.
Stay tuned for the Friday Night Football halftime show sponsored by Golden Chick. Golden Chick is the perfect post-game destination. Come in and see why. We say it's one taste and you're golden at Golden Chick.
Both bands, both drill teams to come at halftime. Halftime stats, halftime highlights. It is all coming your way in 3 minutes and 10 seconds worth of game time. Heckma Harrison, it feels rather important that Ennis does something with these 3 minutes and 10 seconds because Waxahachie has the football to start the third quarter.
Well, I'll tell you what, right now, this Indians defense has really given the Lions all that they can handle, changing up coverages and confusing the first-time varsity quarterback and Xander Hinton. Xander just needs to calm down, make some adjustments here at halftime, and just trust what he's seeing. A lot of times, man, guys have a hard time trusting their eyes when they get into live action.
We'll see what he can do here with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left. Again, he's got weapons on the outside, and they do feel like this year, with Hinton playing quarterback, more of a traditional throw it down the field style quarterback, that they can get Grayson Harris the football. They can get Lamarion McGowan and Kylan Johnson and Aiden Jones the football. They can push the ball downfield. This is a spot where they would certainly like to. Hinton flushed out of the pocket. Big hit. Racing forward to annihilate. The quarterback is Jordan Tolbert. No gain on the play.
Man, I tell you what, Jordan Tolbert, he drops back into coverage because he is over the top of Grayson Harris. But how about coming up and delivering the boom right there for number 14?
So 2nd down and 10 off the play action fake. Downfield behind Harris. Nearly intercepted, then nearly a spectacular catch by Harris. He tried to go OBJ on that one, and it's incomplete.
Hey, that would have been a spectacular catch if he was able to come down with it, but man, he wasn't able to get his hand back and come down with that ball. He is an athlete, but you see the way that the Indians are playing defense on him. They are bracketing him off. They are going to let everyone victimize them except for number 0.
3rd down and 10. Can Hinton get something going? Stepping forward in the pocket. Been pressured all night over the middle, complete for the first down. Diving to make the catch is Caden Griffin.
Boy, nobody just gave a sigh of relief like Xander Hinton on that one throw right there. Even though it was a bad ball, it was low, all right, but nonetheless, it's a first down.
They move the chains. 2 minutes and 12 seconds left here in this second quarter. Handoff for Farsi. Rather, when Darius Jones on the carry. Give him 4 on the play.
But this final 2 minutes here in the first half, I'm looking for the Lions to try and get something positive to happen. If they can go into halftime, Mike, with at least a field goal, I think this changes the dynamic of the way they feel about each other and the way that they perform here in the first half.
Timeout called by Waxahachie. Let's take you back to the most controversial play in the history of this rivalry. 2001, Ennis and Waxahachie squaring off in a wild, gritty, back-and-forth affair. Waxahachie had the lead in the fourth quarter thanks to this touchdown run. Their fans loving every moment of it. But on the final Ennis drive, Sam Harrell, a sophomore that year, Sam's son, takes off on the run looking for a game-winning touchdown. Ball punched out at the goal line. Waxahachie jumps on top. Touchdown, Ennis.
No, he
You
fumbled.
tell me.
That's a fumble.
Did
Mike.
he fumble before he crossed the goal line?
Oh, that's a fumble, clearly.
Or no?
Oh, this is revisionist history. I know what you're doing to me. How was it? It was ruled a touchdown.
It was ruled a touchdown. It was ruled a touchdown. And Ennis won that game 21-15. Still to this day debated down here in Ellis County. Out of the timeout, Jones slung down for a loss of a yard. It's going to be 3rd down and 6. They have talked about that play here along 287 for now 23 years, and there's still plenty of disagreement. Dale Hansen was in the house that night. Our photographer got that shot.
Oh, that was close.
Even Sam Harrell, when he told me this story 3 or 4 years ago, and we came down to do a story about rivalries in North Texas, and we named this rivalry the greatest rivalry in all of North Texas high school football, and he told us that story. He said even when he saw the replay, he was like, I mean, I'll take the win, but...
Never admit.
No, never, ever. Hinton doesn't want to let go of it. throws it short. Second guessing whether he could have unleashed that one for Grayson Harris, and it's 4th down.
And that's the one thing that you don't want to see is a quarterback pump faking. That means, look, he's just not sure in what he's seeing right now. And obviously, like I said, at halftime is going to do him well to be able to sit down, make some adjustments right now with 1 minute and a second left here in the first half. But one thing this Ennis defense has to do is not allow a score out of this first half.
Because Ennis is going to do, I would say, the smart thing here and punt the football away on 4th and 6 at their own 39-yard line. That's too deep in your own territory to take a risk here. So Hinton, a line drive punt, trying to keep it away from Micah Esparza, and does a really nice job of that. This is a terrific punt that will be downed at the 13-yard line. A good job there by Ennis to pin Waxahachie deep with 53 seconds left.
Yeah, great decision to punt that ball away, but also pinning Waxahachie deep in their territory. Right now, your defense, again, 53 seconds left. Try and get a stop and get back into the locker room.
The 103rd meeting all time in the Battle of 287. This is the 86th consecutive year that they have played this game, going all the way back to 1939. Every single year they've played this game. Tonight, the 103rd installment, and Waxahachie's got a 15-0 lead. 2 Wade Lemons touchdown runs. And they are in control as of right now. Again, they will have the football to start the 3rd quarter, too. We'll see if they try and do anything here on this final possession. Meyer rolling left. Short throw, Kidd complete. They will stop the clock out of bounds, 46 seconds.
And right now, again, the Ennis Lions staying aggressive on the outside. And they have been spread out, that 3-by-1 formation, making them play coverage here late in the first half.
The way that things have gone in the first half, I think you'd be hesitant to kick a field goal, but still, Ethan Guillen has shown that he has range. Maybe if you could get in range for a 45-yarder, it would be worth a try at the very end of the half. That ball is complete on the sideline. First down, Waxahachie.
This is a heck of a drive. And how about this for Meyer, finding his guy at the sideline to stop the clock.
That's a great throw from a sophomore quarterback against his body, hitting another young player in Cohen Brown, the junior, who you see limping off here. This is a kid that I certainly hope he's okay, because he has seen his recruiting blow up of late. Ran a 10.8 in the 100-meter, and all of a sudden everybody went, whoa, Cohen Brown, let us come see you, bud. He has blown up lately. Shane Tallis was telling us all about how his recruiting has exploded of late. Makes a nice catch there, but did have to go off. We'll hope to see him back on the field here very shortly. This time Meyer throws it away on 1st and 10, 33 seconds left.
Yeah, great decision there by the sophomore. Live to fight another day. How many times have you seen a young guy just try and make a play and make a critical error?
A response to one of the comments on the YouTube feed, yes, we will carry the halftime show from both bands, both drill teams, here on Friday Night Football. The Golden Chick halftime show coming your way here in 33 seconds worth of game time. 2nd down and 10. Near side, complete again for Kidd. Good form tackle on the near side by Kiki Tarrant.
Yeah, good job by Kiki Tarrant, but best thing that he does is keep him in bounds.
Clock winds, 20-19. Meyer, the sophomore, led Lake Mead to a title a year ago in Nevada. Transferred in, the starter as a sophomore. This time flings it out of play. It'll be 4th down.
And puts it to the track, but I am so impressed with him. I had a bunch of question marks myself after our interview with the head coach. And look, I know that they were trying to discover a lot about this guy, and I think they are going to be settled in and really not surprised at all. I think they had an opportunity in the offseason in the spring to see what he has, but man, he's definitely solidified himself as the surefire starter here in Waxahachie.
4th down and 6. They're going to go for it because time will likely expire anyway over the course of this down. Meyer trying to set up a deep shot. Fires. Lots of Ennis Lions back there. It falls incomplete. And that is how the first half will come to an end. Wade Lemons with a pair of touchdown runs in this first half. Heckma Harrison and Waxahachie with a 15-0 halftime lead.
Yeah, it looked like it was anyone's game for a few there in the first quarter. Obviously, Waxahachie had a few big plays called back by really the unsportsmanlike and the fouls. But, man, they kind of settled in. They got another score. They went for the 2-point conversion, and that's why they're up 15-0. I'm looking at Ennis right now, and I'm saying, look, guys, you're not out of it. You just got to get something going offensively. A lot of times on their drives, they've gone 3 and out quite a bit. They haven't had any sustained drives is what I'm reaching for, and that's exactly what they're going to have to do here in the second half.
When we return, the Friday Night Football halftime show, both bands, both drill teams taking the field here momentarily. We will bring you their performance after this on Friday Night Football. Second half ready to get underway here in just about a minute and a half time. Heckma Harrison, the Waxahachie Indians with a 15-0 lead at the break. Wade Lemons with a pair of touchdown runs. Waxahachie has looked at points like they might be able to run away and hide from Ennis, but they didn't in that first half. Ennis able to come up with some key defensive stops, a couple of key missed field goals, and they're still here in it.
Yeah, and it looked like to me in that first half, if it were not for those self-inflicted wounds or injuries there from the Waxahachie Indians, they'd be up by more than just 15 here. One of the things that I absolutely love, though, of the first half, and any narrative that you write is going to be Jerry Meyer III has arrived at Waxahachie. And I'm telling you, he is showing that he is really good. And man, you're going to have some 3 years of some superior quarterback play. He is willing and dealing, getting the ball to his receivers in spots, but also Wade Lemons, man, he is doing an awesome job of allowing this offense to continue to move the ball and stay balanced. That is the one thing that I've really enjoyed about the way that the Waxahachie Indians played there in the first half.
There is something building here for Shane Tollison down here in Waxahachie. The former defensive coordinator at Denton Ryan High School won a state championship with that program back in 2020, one of the very best Texas high school football programs we have ever seen. But now here he is in Waxahachie, playing in the Battle of 287, coaching against Sam Harrell, a coach, by the way, that he played against back in the 90s when he was a linebacker himself at Corsicana High School just down the road. Now he's leading this Waxahachie program. They've got a 15-0 lead at the break, and they are looking to build that state championship caliber program down here in Ellis County that Sam Harrell built so many years ago just down the road in Ennis. Now it looks like Waxahachie has got something at least percolating. They're not to that level yet. They've got Duncanville and DeSoto, weeks 1 and 2 of district play right out of the gate. So hello, that challenge. There's still a mountain to climb, but it seems like they're climbing it.
Yeah, and Shane Tollison, he really does have a healthy respect for this rivalry. Like you said, he has been in it for a number of years, and he is a great admirer of Coach Sam Harrell. And he says, look, man, it's only for one game that I don't like him. And he's like, I can deal with that. And as soon as that game is over with, I am back to loving everything that he is about as a coach and as a man.
So it will be Waxahachie football to start the second half. Jerry Meyer III, the sophomore quarterback. Wade Lemons with his 70 first half rushing yards and a pair of touchdowns. And they will look to add to the field. Add to the lead here as they take possession at the start of this third quarter. Shout out to Gripfast Films on the YouTube comments. Oh, that's my sister-in-law. My little brother's new bride commenting from up in upstate New York. As Ennis kicks it off, line drive kick into the end zone for a touchback. And out comes this Waxahachie offense. 27 points a game a year ago, the spread offense under offensive coordinator Scott Reynolds. But this year with the new quarterback Meyer moving in from Nevada. They looked pretty good, Heckman, in that first half.
No, they really did. And Reynolds, he continued to dial it up. And I think those screens, he was allowing his offense to keep this Ennis Lions defense off balance. Man, he mixed it up really well. But again, I love the way that he also moved the pocket with Jerry Meyer III. We saw a couple of times there with Cohen Brown. He was running those reverses. Again, he's making this Lions defense chase sideline to sideline. And that's why at the end of the first half, I kept saying, man, maybe these guys are getting a little tired and glad they held on and didn't give up a score, knowing that the Indians were getting the ball to start the second half.
Lemons with the first carry of the second half crashes his way through Jaquarius Malone for a pickup of 4. Give you a look at the first half stats. Waxahachie with that 15-0 lead. Lemons 70 yards on 15 carries. Waxahachie doubling up Ennis in total yards, but also doubling them, Heckma, in penalties, and that's part of why this is only 15-0 Waxahachie.
Yeah, it is definitely the penalties that's telling the story, and on the other side for the Ennis Lions, it's the turnovers that's telling the story for them. 87 yards rushing may not seem like much, but it has been a big part of this ball game in the first half.
Near side, it's Kidd with the handoff, and he gets planted at the 30-yard line. Cash Hendricks, the junior. 3rd down and 4, a gain of 2 on the play, but Kidd paid for those 2 yards.
Say, Cash Hendricks, I talked about it earlier. He had some touchdown-saving tackles in the first half. He is one of those guys that once he gets to you, he is bringing everything with him. As you saw right there, it's Kidd.
1,400 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Please click the like button, click the share button. We will bring you a game every week here on Friday Night Football. Flags at the snap here on 3rd down and 4. Call it 3rd and 3 officially. Both lines moving.
And that's where you see the sophomore really getting in his bag when he's starting to change up the cadence and get guys to cut off sides.
I was reading the lips of the line judge that came in from the far side, though, saying, I had the receiver. This might be on the Waxahachie offense. They're still debating. We'll see what they come out with. They will say that this goes against Ennis.
Yeah, it looked clear. It looked clear that was going to go against Kingston Parker on the outside, that he jumped a little bit early. Yeah. But like I said, that's Jerry Meyer III, just obviously the general out there of that offense. And when you can get a cheap one like that and also pick up the first down, man, that's love.
1st and 10 at the 37. Wise beyond his years is Jerry Meyer. Flushed, fires downfield, across his body, Kidd blown up, and it's incomplete. Kiki Tarrant making sure that was incomplete.
But look at Kiki Tarrant. He's reading this play. It's coming from left to right on him. He's already camped out over here on the right side.
I'll tell you what, there is zero crisis of confidence in the mind of Jerry Meyer III. That kid will throw against his body, back across the field, and put it on a dot.
Yeah,
he has no lack of confidence.
Hey, man, it's kind of unconventional. You pointed it out before when he was rolling to his right. Rolling to his left, and he throws it back over to his right. That's some skillful stuff there from your quarterback.
Lemons right up the gut. Wade Lemons across midfield into the secondary and dragging a tackler down to the 35.
And that was all his offensive line. Look at this big hole opened up between that center and guard. Man, that A-gap, and Wavy just makes his way up the field. And again, this running game is starting to pay dividends for the Indians.
A young man who broke his leg the Thursday before the Battle of 287 his sophomore year. Heartbroken by that. Getting a chance to play tonight as a senior. Already with 2 touchdown runs on the night. And this time he leads the Indians offense into Ennis territory. He'll get the tote again and pick up 4.
Yeah, this offensive line, again, for the Waxahachie Indians, they're doing a really good job. These guys up front, you got some big bodies up front with Parker, Bazar, Dickinson, and the other Bazar at 55, man, but they are just doing a wonderful job of opening up these holes and allowing number 2 Wade Lemons to run through them.
The 103rd meeting all time in the Battle of 287. This game matters to these two football teams. It might matter to the towns even more. The ones who get to brag tomorrow around Ellis County. On the line, that could have been another face mask. No flag may have gotten him up high on the shoulder pads. Twisting through it was Lanier, the backup running back, and he's got enough to move the chain.
And now, look, you were confused in the first half between Lanier and Lemons, and there I was about to call that a Wade Lemons run, and I was going to say, look, you can't tell if that's a face mask or not from how hard Lemons is running, but that's Lanier.
They both have a similar running style. Like, in addition to being similar physically, they both just say, either get out of my way or I'm moving you out of my way. It's Lanier again. Across the 15, keeps his feet inside the 10. First and goal, Waxahachie.
You know, they like to call the two-back offense thunder and lightning. I'm just going to call this thunder and thunder. Both of these guys embody the same thing. And how about the balance right there from number 0 and also delivering a lick when he gets there.
Crashing through Mason Jones to get to the 8-yard line and set up first and goal. We saw Waxahachie on 2 occasions in the first half get deep into Ennis territory, struggle to finish a drive, and have to settle for a field goal, and both times they missed. They did pay off finally that drive midway through the second quarter to make it 15-0. Can they pay this one off here to start the third quarter?
If I'm not mistaken, that's Damarian Cooper, your linebacker.
It is.
Back. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm looking at this right.
You're not looking at it incorrectly.
Okay.
That's the linebacker Cooper getting the carry. He's replaced now by Wade Lemons, but Cooper gets a stray carry and twisted both our brains there for a half a beat.
God. This guy, what doesn't he do?
I would say he's been putting in work on the defensive side. Coach said, you know what? You've earned a carry. Second and goal from the 5. Wildcat look. Lemons. Following kid to the end zone. Wade Lemons with a hat trick in the Battle of 287.
What a special run there by Wade. Look at him taking his time here. He's just setting up his blocks, Peace sign, I'm gone. Right to the end zone. Good job by number 2 for the 3rd touchdown of the evening.
21-0 Waxahachie, and Wade Lemons has all 3 touchdown runs.
Number 16, Bernard.
Extra point is up and through for Ethan Guillen. Wade Lemons, 112 yards on the night and 3 touchdown runs. And Waxahachie with a 22-0 lead in the Battle of 287. Trying to say the sign stays with us tonight on Friday Night Football.
You need a team you can trust to prepare you for the day.
We are making sure that you have all the information you need.
Looking out for you.
So we do have the heat advisory and air quality alert in effect for today.
Bold reporting.
Reporting from Plano.
Red flag warning in place.
Dynamic coverage.
Live from Addison.
Original content.
We are staying on top of this story, of course. Be safe out there on the roads. It's going to be a great time.
I am up with daybreak. What about you?
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delcus.
Back on Friday Night Football, 22-0. The score in favor of Waxahachie. Wade Lemons with all 3 touchdown runs tonight for the Indians. And they are in control as they get ready to kick it away midway through this third quarter. Guillen sending it deep for Grayson Harris over the head of the return team for Ennis, and it will be a touchback. And back out comes the junior quarterback, Xander Hinton, new starting quarterback for 2024, coming up from JV, leading an Ennis offense that a year ago, Heckma averaged 30-plus points a game, almost 31 points per game. but they were playing with 2 wide receivers at the quarterback position. Hinton, more of a traditional pass the football down the field style QB. Did complete 4 of 6 passes in the first half, 103 yards. Did have the 1 interception that was certainly not the throw he was looking for in that moment, but he did show some ability to press the football down the field and maybe open up this Ennis offense a little bit.
Yeah, he's just not trusting his eyes right now, Mike, and everything. Sometimes the kid starts to see ghosts out there, especially when the coverage changes.
On 1st and 10, he'll go to the air. Quick throw, far side. He's got Grayson Harris, who is able to wiggle his way for a first down. They need to get Zero the football more. That's just his 2nd catch of the day for the young man that's on his way to Oklahoma.
And Chase Willingham just says no matter what the coverage is, you go back and you throw the ball over here to Grayson Harris. No matter what. If there's cover 3, cover 2, you get the ball out to number 0.
Looking near side this time. Quick throw to Lamarion McGowan, who makes 2 guys miss, nearly lost the football, and picks up the first down at midfield.
How about that from McGowan, making the first guy miss and getting some positive yards and the first down. And just like that, the Lions come out and they get 2 first downs. That's got to galvanize this offense and give these guys an injection of confidence.
It's hard not to wonder what this game might look like if not for the strip by Jaquan Snell. On the deep ball downfield, they're going to try deep this time. Going up and hauling it in up the far sideline is Harris. 1-on-1 with Eli Thompson, and gives him a little look afterward too.
Hey, you gotta love that right there. He said, gives him the "you're too small" signal. And man, Emmett Jones, the receivers coach, one of the best receivers coaches in college football, is getting himself a dandy of a wide receiver.
1st and goal at the 10 and flags at the snap. Ennis guilty of a false start.
Man, what a catch by Grayson Harris.
You said it. The game plan should be for Chase Willingham. 0, 0, 0, 0, more 0.
And no matter
Kid is special.
No matter what the coverage is, you go back there and you get the ball out to Grayson Harris. But he had a step on his defender. The ball is slightly underthrown. He's still able to come back and get that and catch that ball. That's a great job.
So now 1st and goal from the 15 for Hinton. Looking near side, pressure in his face, firing end zone, making an adjustment and hauling it in. Lamarion McGowan with the touchdown grab. Ennis on the board in a blink. 1 minute, 26 seconds later. Lions say, hey, we got some life.
And Mike, what did I tell you? This kid, Xander Hinton, all he needed was a halftime. He needed a halftime to go in and sit down and regroup. That's a great ball on the outside, getting it to only the place where your receiver can get it and score.
And now the 2-point conversion as well for Ennis. 22-8, just like that. Another look at it here as Hinton fired into the end zone. It's McGowan again on the receiving end. And Ennis, just like that, Heckma Harrison, kind of back in this football game, and if nothing else, a big dose of confidence.
And that's all it is, and that's exactly what they needed. Their confidence was at an all-time low in that first half, and their defense was just trying to save them. Obviously, if it were not for the penalties, they would be behind by more, but man, coming out here in the second half, finding a way to get on the board.
Let's take you back real quick before this kickoff to 2018. The Battle of 287. This was Sam Harrell's first game back on the sidelines after being gone for 9 years. Retired in 2009 due to complications with MS. Went to Panama, got stem cell treatment, came back to the program in 2018, and here is quarterback Dylan Santos. Took off for the touchdown run. Ennis ran for 350 that night, but Waxahachie got the win with Sam's son Zach as the offensive coordinator for Waxahachie. Damani Richardson, who's now with the Panthers, by the way, ran for 161 and 3 scores. Waxahachie won it in 2018, 54-32 the final. But more than anything else, that was the night. Welcome back, Sam Harrell. Even the fans from Waxahachie had welcome back Coach Harrell signs that night. Great to have Sam Harrell back on the sidelines in Texas high school football. Right up the gut on the kickoff return and out to the 37-yard line is Bryson Lanier. And that's where Waxahachie will take over.
Lanier does it all. Not only run the ball, but he also brings back kicks. And this guy is a big body returner. You see him get up there and almost look for a quick second like this was going to be a house call. Good job by the coverage team getting in and getting a stop. And that is Jamarquez Farsi with the stop.
Farsi, the small running back, getting in there and making a play on special teams. That's not nothing. Midway point of this third quarter, 14-point game. Can Ennis get a stop and get back in this one? Complete over the middle, lots of running room, and breaking away is Cohen Brown. There's that 10,800-meter speed. House call for the junior Cohen Brown. Touchdown, Waxahachie. A flag after the play. I think that's going to be on the celebration. We'll check with the officials here in a moment. But that flag came in very late, I think, after the play.
Look at the speed. There's the play action right there, but man, this is just a simple catch and pass. That's that 10-8 speed showing up right there in a hurry. I don't think anybody even got a hand on him.
I don't think so. 63 yards.
God, man. I mean, he delivers that pass right at the hash mark. But that's the reason why his recruiting is blowing up, is because when you run a 10-800, but not only just track speed, it also is field speed. As you see it right there, man, that was big time.
The first touchdown pass of Jerry Meyer's Waxahachie career after 58 of them a year ago. Extra point, no good.
Wow.
So it will stay a 20-point game. That extra point could wind up mattering, and Waxahachie has missed some kicks tonight. 2 field goals and now a PAT as well. But the first touchdown pass in Jerry Meyer's Waxahachie career is a 63-yarder to Cohen Brown, and Waxahachie's got a 28-8 lead mid-third quarter here on Friday Night Football.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
The 12-yard touchdown. Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Duncanville at South Oak Cliff. Stream the broadcast free. Next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+. Welcome to the big time, Jerry Meyer.
Yeah.
He has been really sharp tonight. And you mentioned it earlier, there were question marks, not because anybody didn't think the kid was good, but just, okay, let's see it in Texas. We saw you do it in Nevada, 58 touchdown passes, led Lake Mead to a state championship in small school Nevada football. All right, you want to come play big school Texas football? Let's see what you can do. Check, check, and check.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what he's doing also. He is checking all the boxes with his weapons as well.
Yeah.
Guys like Trenton Kidd, Lamadrick Daniels, they've got to feel really good about who they have in the quarterback position.
Reverse here to Harris on the kickoff return, trying to find some space. Harris across midfield and to the 48 in Waxahachie territory. Ennis trying to take advantage of the field position with Waxahachie kicking off after the 15-yard penalty. They flip it to Harris. He wasn't quite able to break it, but still pretty good.
And that's the dangerous thing about that unsportsmanlike penalty on a touchdown. What it does is it victimizes your kickoff team, puts them in a bad position. And man, that was almost Grayson Harris taking it to the house.
So we saw Ennis move the football in the last possession. Xander Hinton, can you do it again? He found 0 and 2 quite a bit. They give it here to Wendarius Jones. He's strung out and driven back, a loss of a yard.
Man, this is Jaquan Snell, number 4. We saw him make a play earlier. Obviously, the strip was really important, but look at where how he does this from the safety position. At 6'3", 185 pounds, he is all downhill. And when you got a safety that can do that, man, that's a really special thing to see a guy come in and close out like that, just showing range as a safety.
Wendarius Jones, the ball carrier, a little dinged up on the play, had to limp off. Jaquan Snell is a heat-seeking missile coming up from the safety position. That kid plays smash-mouth football.
No, he absolutely does. He's like the avoid mayhem guy in the insurance commercial. You know, it's always running into something.
2nd down and 11. Pressure on Hinton. Gets away. This kid's got some scoots. Able to turn what should have been a sack into maybe half a yard gain. He's got some quick feet in the backfield.
No, he really does. And I'm telling you what, he's moving a lot faster than he was in the first half. Also still trying to keep his eyes up the field. But if he takes that sack, man, that's going to be a loss of some big yardage.
A big 3rd and 11 here for Ennis. Can you find Harris or McGowan and move the chains? Hinton, blitz in his face, runs past it, fires downfield, leaping to make the catch is McGowan for the 1st down. Lamarian McGowan at the apex.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and there's a lot of luck associated with that duck that was thrown. That thing is quacking on its way down. But man, Hinton stands in the pocket and he takes a lick. He's limping. They're going to get him off. I don't know if he's cramping. Still's kind of humid out here. We haven't seen a lot of guys go down with cramps. We've done this long enough, partner, that we've always seen it in the beginning of the season. Guys on the carpet with cramps.
Hinton has to limp his way off. Grayson Harris, the wide receiver, is also their backup quarterback. He played some quarterback last year in a platoon with Wandame Davis. I talked with Harris before the game. I said, I know you played quarterback last year. Is the plan for you to still take some snaps this year? And it was kind of a maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see how this kind of develops. They've got a package. They've got some, whatever. But I think it was a little bit, and this is kind of me inferring from what he said. It felt like kind of depends on how Xander plays.
Yeah.
And he didn't say that. Let me be 1,000% clear here. That was not, I'm inferring here on my side of the table. But it kind of felt like, hey, you know what? If Xander goes out there and balls out, I think we're going to roll with this.
Yeah.
And because they've got players like McGowan and Harris on the outside that can go downfield and make some plays for him. And we saw that on that last drive.
Well, it's good to see right now Xander Hinton look like he's coming back out onto the field, and they call a timeout so that he doesn't have to stay on the sidelines for a play.
A worthwhile timeout. Seems to be moving okay. They're going to blitz him to make sure. Oh, my goodness. They had the play. Waxahachie called timeout. I'm not sure if that was Tollison or defensive coordinator Lawrence Williams. Somebody just saved the Waxahachie defense because they went, whoa, we don't like this. Look, timeout. They stopped everything down because that was about to be 6.
No, right before the snap, they called that timeout. That is lucky right there because they had man on the outside, and I think that's the coverage that they've been looking for and where Xander Hinton hasn't been able to hit.
They had Grayson Harris up top for a 34-yard touchdown pass that really would have put some life into this one. Ennis looking to score on back-to-back possessions after they were held scoreless in the opening half. An Ennis team that a year ago went 5-7, did go 2 rounds deep in the playoffs. They lost their the majority of their non-district games, but went 4-3 in district play. Made the playoffs, lost in the second round against a very good Lovejoy team. This year, bringing back 5 starters, offense and defense. Grayson Harris certainly the crown jewel amongst those returners.
Oh, absolutely.
They feel like they've got something here. They're expected to be either the best or maybe second best team in 6'5 AD2. They're going to be a challenger for a district championship this year, especially if Xander Hinton continues to develop. Handoff here for Farsi. They've been able to move the ball throwing it. They have not been able to run the ball.
Yeah, they cannot find a combination. Trying to get into some type of rhythm. And in the running department, I just feel like the Indians, man, they are crowding the line of scrimmage, and a running back of Farsi's stature is not going to be able to get downhill on these guys.
2nd and 11. They cycle Harris back into the backfield here to the left. Little pop pass and read brilliantly by the defensive front from Waxahachie. Cade Tollison, that's the sophomore linebacker, the coach's son, saw this coming in a blink.
Yeah,
so too did Gavin Warsing at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, Gavin Warsing is just sitting right there at the nose guard position, and he's like, wow, this is Christmas coming early when he sees that pop pass.
Now he's the one who's down on the field, though. The Ennis athletic training staff, E.J. Hairston, Jeff Hooks, out to take a look at him.
He kind of made that tackle awkwardly. He had his leg underneath him. But that's a good job also recognizing from Cade Tollison, a guy that's coming who has some good genes and future star here for the Waxahachie Indians.
His father, Shane, we mentioned earlier, played at Corsicana back in the 90s, still to this day the all-time leading tackler at Corsicana High School. Played against Sam Harrell, coached Ennis teams back in the 90s, played against Waxahachie back in the 90s. Now his son, a sophomore starting outside linebacker, I should say inside linebacker. They play kind of a 4-2-5 base concept with Jordan Tolbert kind of in a rover spot. So Tollison, one of those two inside linebackers alongside Demarion Cooper, who's made a number of plays already tonight. The biggest thing that Coach Tollison talked about, though, with his son, he said he's got all that pressure on him because he wants to go out there and do the things that I did in my playing career. I said, son, you're playing 6A football and you're a sophomore. Take a little bit of pressure off yourself and just go out there and see ball, get ball. Hinton on 3rd and 13, looking downfield, trying to find somebody, has to just dirt it. And it's 4th down.
I tell you what, I will take that from Xander Hinton under pressure.
Yeah.
At least he doesn't make a mistake with the football, trying to press, trying to fit a ball into a spot that he can't get it into. Look, throw it in the ground, live to fight another day. It's 4th down, and it definitely looks like it, but looks like they're going for it. But going back to Cade Tollison, look, he has had himself a fantastic night as well. Doing a good job here as a sophomore in action here on varsity.
They will quick kick it sometimes. We'll see if they actually go for it here. They will. To the air goes Hinton. Deep ball for McGowan. They were not on the same page, and it's a turnover on downs. He was looking for McGowan. McGowan ran more of a post route, and he looked further up the sideline.
Yeah, somebody had fade and somebody else had post. Maybe he went to the wrong side of the field, but McGowan has been, a bit of a lucky charm for him. But he was open in the post, man, if he had got that ball to him.
I like the decision to go for it. At this point in the game, you got 14 minutes and change left to work with. You're running out of possessions. You got to make something happen.
Absolutely.
And why not dial up a deep ball to one of your two main weapons on the outside, Harris and McGowan, but just not on the same page. And Waxahachie takes over now in control of this football game, up 3 scores and with the football at their own 37. Meyer.
Oh, look at that, so pretty. Moving up in the pocket, shuffling his feet, recognizing he doesn't have anything there and throwing it to the sideline. I love this kid. This is beginning to look like more of a coordination than anything for Jerry, isn't it? I mean, you're seeing Jerry Meyer III just really be cool and calm for a sophomore quarterback, and I don't think these lights are too bright for him. And I know, look, this is the 103rd meeting between these two teams, so he knows the history behind it. Trust me, I can't wait to see him on down the line because he's going to have some big-time games.
You and I talked about it earlier this week. If he is what they think he can be, as the handoff here goes up the middle for Lemons and he pushes the pile for 6. If Jerry Meyer can be what they hoped he could be, coming off 58 touchdown passes a year ago, state title in Nevada. They've got weapons on the outside. We've seen what Cohen Brown can do. We've seen what, this is Wade Lemons who's down after the play, kind of twisted up. Maybe trying to stretch out a cramp. You hope that that's all this is. But we have seen, that's what, okay. That's, and a visceral reaction to the cramp. Oh, I hate that feeling, man. I feel you, Wavy. I really, really do. That is not a fun feeling. They've got weapons on the outside. They've got Trenton Kidd and Lamadrick Daniels and Cohen Brown and the transfer Tristan Gardner that, yes, last year played at Mesquite Horn, but prior to that played at Dallas Lincoln. Jerry Meyer can sling it around a little bit. We have seen that tonight. He's real. Like, there was this, like, hey, is Jerry Meyer, is this a thing? Is this a thing? It's a thing. It's a thing now.
So
and if it's a thing, they're interesting.
Okay, so
I'm not going to go beyond interesting.
Go
I'm not going to go. Hang on a second. Hang on a second.
I was wondering.
I am not a stupid man. I know what's up on Camp Wisdom. I know what's up on Eagle Drive. I'm not going there. Hang on now. I'm not going there.
That's what I was going to ask you. I'm like, look, you're saying all these good things. I want to know, is that where you were leading? Were you leading into something?
You know what I'm saying? As Meyer draws him off sides, earns himself a free play, looking downfield, and incomplete. I think what I am saying is I want to see September 20th, Waxahachie at Duncanville. I'm intrigued to see how it goes now. I'm intrigued to see how it goes. You and I did the Duncanville DeSoto game last year. And we said in the open, there are two teams in the entire state that can beat Duncanville, and it's DeSoto and North Shore. That's it. I will still stand on that platform. So I do not expect, as good as I think Waxahachie has looked tonight, I do not expect for Waxahachie to beat Duncanville or DeSoto, who right now DeSoto is the standard bearer in the state, winning 6A D2 a year ago and beating 6A D1 champion Duncanville. That is a ridiculous mountain to climb, and I don't know that Waxahachie is quite ready to scale that mountain. That's a totally different ask. However, I'm curious to see how those two games go, because if this is who Waxahachie can be, maybe they go 8-2.
Okay.
That seems plausible. Let's pump the brakes though, because between now and Duncanville DeSoto, they've got two really good non-district games, Coppell and Forney, that are very interesting tests. So we will learn more about this team before they even get to those two district openers, those first 2 weeks of district play. There's still time to learn more about this team, but I'm intrigued. I'll leave it at that for right now. They set up the screen here on 2nd and 10, and a lot of running room here for Lanier. Inside the 40, finally pushed out of bounds at the 35. Another first down for the Indians offense.
And this is one of the things that I completely love about this offensive coordinator and the way that he's keeping this offense so balanced when he mixes in these long passes, these short passes, and then these screens. He really has kept this defense off balance all night long. But I tell you what, Mike, I was listening to you just a second ago, and I'm like, he's about to jump out the cake. He's about to jump out the cake.
No, and listen, there's a comment here from TXS Guillermo in the comments. He said Duncanville and DeSoto are going to spank Waxahachie. I will stand right here in Waxahachie and absolutely allow for that possibility, because that's how good Duncanville and DeSoto are. Up the middle goes Lanier again, twisting his way across the 25, and another first down as the Indians offense continues to move the chains. That is absolutely a possibility, because that's how good those programs are. That this Waxahachie team that looks to be quite good is probably not on that level, because nobody's on that level.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I've seen. They are better than advertised, and when you couple in what the expectation was on Jerry Meyer, you're starting to see, man, that these guys can make some noise.
Oh, look at that meeting in the hole between Cash Hendricks and Bryson Lanier. That is football. It's a 2-yard game. That's football at its finest right there.
Look at this.
Man on man.
Oh, man. And I'll tell you who's not letting up. That's Cash Hendricks. And he is going to make sure that he gets Lanier down on the ground. What a tackle. And this guy, Cash Hendricks, has been doing this all game long. What this does do is it puts the rest of these teams in 6A on notice as well in this district. Okay?
Hey, Lancaster, you want to make playoffs?
Ooh, that's going to be a game.
The Cedar Hill, Waxahachie, Lancaster trio battling for those other 2 playoff spots is going to be a war.
November 1st, that's going to be a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a game. And going all the way up here to the Cedar Hill.
Yeah.
That's going to be I think the way that you look at the District of Doom for the last couple of years is Duncanville, DeSoto, and then just the rest of the guys, right? But I think Waxahachie is showing you right now that they're trying to separate themselves from the rest of those guys, and they got a quarterback to go with it.
It certainly looks like it. Through 3 quarters, Waxahachie looking sharp. Jerry Meyer leading his team. Wade Lemons, too. Let me not forget. 28-8, the score in favor of Waxahachie in the Battle of 287 as we head to the 4th on Friday Night Football.
You need a team you can trust to prepare you for the day.
We are making sure that you have all the information you need.
Looking out for you.
So we do have the heat advisory and air quality alert in effect for today.
Bold reporting.
Reporting from Plano.
Red flag warning in place.
Dynamic coverage.
Live from Addison.
Original content.
We are staying on top of this story, of course. Be safe out there on the roads. It's going to be a great time.
I am up with daybreak. What about you?
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delcus.
The 12-yard touchdown. Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Duncanville at South Oak Cliff. Stream the broadcast free. Next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Waxahachie Student Council is partnering with Georgie Boys Ice Cream for Live Down at Georgie Boys.
4th quarter coming your way in the Battle of 287. These 2 teams have played every year since 1939. They've been playing in some form or fashion since 1908. Teddy Roosevelt was president when this series began. That is a difficult concept to wrap your brain around.
That is.
It really is.
Yeah. No, these 2 towns, man. And don't forget about Corsicana, because they throw themselves in this fight also. They want to know, hey, you put 287 in there, man. Waxahachie and Ennis have been going at it for a long time, and these cities are not separated by many miles.
Demarion Cooper getting another carry and showing that he has some ability. He says, hey, run it back. Give me another one. Give me another one. Cooper's sniffing the end zone right now.
That's that linebacker mentality. He's like, man, in between the tackles, I don't want to try and show the speed on the outside. I'm a big body. I want to get up in there with the big uglies.
He's going to stay out there for another snap. 2nd down and 4 from the 7. Gets the carry again, and Demarion Cooper's got the end zone. He wanted that so bad, and he's got it. And Waxahachie builds the lead.
That is, look, how about that, man? Demarion Cooper's just saying, look, give me the ball. I don't want to show any speed. I'm not trying to go with a sweep or anything like that. This is a gap only, and I know I'm going to score.
A 7-yard touchdown carry, and he is still fired up on the near sideline.
He ain't going to forget that.
Waxahachie's offense has looked sharp tonight.
A PAT
35
finally gets
on the board. That's the first one since 7-0.
Wow.
No, I'm sorry. They hit one for 22. It was the missed field goals.
Okay.
They missed the PAT after they scored the touchdown pass to Cohen Brown. But another PAT is through, and it is 35-8 in favor of Waxahachie. The 7-yard touchdown run for Demarion Cooper, and with 11:23 to play, Ennis now finds themselves in a very big hole. There was a moment Ennis scored to make it 22-8. If they could have gotten a stop there and gotten the football back, maybe they could have started to turn this game around. Instead, the very first snap of that possession was the 63-yard touchdown pass from Meyer to Cohen Brown, and that took a little wind out of the sails of Sam Harrell's team.
Well, what you got coming out of halftime was a sign of life from Ennis, and I think with that sign of life, you said, look, this offense is you're starting to see that there's some big play potential if they could just get the ball out to guys like Grayson Harris and Lamori and McGowan. But those passes started to go awry. Again, what did they do? They changed their coverage, confused their quarterback, and look, he's seeing ghosts again. What he's got to do is just continue to trust himself, get the ball out to his playmakers, and no matter what, man, just try and find a way to move the chains and get positive yardage. We've seen that. He came out and got that first down, the second first down, and the confidence just went through the roof.
Yeah.
Then after that, we hadn't seen that confidence again.
I'm curious, 3 quarters in, what do you think of the Battle of 287?
It is for real. It is legit, okay? I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to get out of here. That's the biggest question. How do I get out of here? Because it is jam-packed. We got people down all on the track.
Kickoff return here for Ennis. Crashing his way to the 20-yard line is Wendarius Jones. Beg your pardon, that's Farsi, his backfield mate, on the return.
Yeah, Farsi, he might be a small guy, but he is not scared. He is going to stick his head up in there, and he runs like a much bigger back than what he is. What do you call that, little man syndrome? Hey, he's got a case of it.
Small dog syndrome?
Is that what it is? Man, somebody needs to tell this guy he's not 6'3", 250. He will run up in there. I'm telling you, I'm excited about Ennis as well, just to see what they're going to do in 5A. You talk about what they did last season. That was a tough team and a tough out for a lot of teams. They don't want to see Ennis in the first round of the playoffs because it's going to be a dogfight.
On 1st and 10, quick swing pass out to the far side. Wendarius Jones pushed down out of bounds. I went to look this up over the course of this week. It's the Battle of 287. They've been calling it that for forever. They've been playing this game since 1908. 287 didn't exist until 1935. So I do wonder, what did they call it before that? But the rivalry itself predates the road.
Well, they probably played it a lot earlier back then for lighting reasons, all right?
Right.
But I don't know, just two teams that just probably had a disdain for each other and said, look, why don't we settle this on the football field? Man, it's just great to be a part of it. It's also great, you know, Mike, to have these opportunities to talk to these legendary coaches. I mean, obviously being somebody that has been in Texas high school football as long as I have and know the history of certain coaches, having an opportunity to sit down and talk to Coach Sam Harrell was really going to be one of the highlights of my broadcasting career, to be able to just sit down with somebody and talk to them, and you know they have a wealth of knowledge about the game and can talk intelligently about how the game has changed. And my number one question to him was, how has the game changed? And he's like, look, the kids haven't changed. The kids are just kids. He's like, I think the social media stuff is really kind of phones. He said phones have changed.
Everybody's got a phone in their hand
Everybody's got
now.
a phone. He said, but these kids are still the same. They're still eager to learn and come to work and try and get to the next level. And he says, all you got to do is just love on these kids and pour into them. And this is a big time 4th and 1.
Whatever chance Ennis has left rides on this 4th and 1 here, and they're going to call a timeout prior to this 4th and 1. We talked about Harrell and his battle with MS. Had to retire in 2009, went to Panama to do stem cell treatments. And he said, he and I talked a little bit earlier today, in addition to our phone call earlier this week. I went up and visited with him in the press box before kickoff. And he said, Mike, I had 8 or 9 years where I was basically symptom-free. He said, I was the poster child for stem cell treatment. And he said it's just been in the last 2 years or so that it has started to come back. And he's now back coaching from the press box. He's coached from the press box last year. He will this year as well. But I was really impressed with and honestly inspired by what he said to the two of us on the phone when we spoke with him earlier this week. He said he's trying to teach his kids when life gets tough, you got to get tough. You don't want to give up and just quit. And he's not doing that. And neither is his football team here on 4th down and 1 from their own 30-yard line. Keeping it himself is Harris, and he's got the first down, still twisting his way across the 35 to the 38-yard line. First down, Ennis, and the Lions, whatever life they have, they still have.
And maybe that was the twinkle in his eye that you saw for Grayson Harris when you were asking him about playing quarterback, that he knew they had that package and he didn't want to give that away. So I can't tell Mike, I can't give that up.
I know, right? There was a little bit of like, well, you know.
That was the hesitation that you saw. That was it, because he knew that they had that package.
Yep. Another player down after the play. It is a Waxahachie Indian.
And more cramps.
Looks like it. I think it's Eli Thompson, their senior corner. Somebody that Shane Tollison says has been a great leader for this program. Dealing with a cramp, as we have seen a little bit of tonight. We saw Wade Lemons dealing with one as well. Beg your pardon, it's Jaquan Snell, the sophomore. This kid, I'll tell you what, number 4 for Waxahachie, dealing with a cramp right now, trying to walk it off. That dude can go.
Yeah, he can ball.
You want somebody to keep an eye on over the course of the next few years, as his recruiting is going to blow up. Already has 16 offers as a high school sophomore. Shane Tollison said, I see big things for this kid.
No, he's a baller, and you see it. It's been for 4 quarters this kid has been playing like this, and again, all downhill, and also great things in coverage from this guy. A lot of range and the ball hawking ability out there for number 4. But Grayson Harris with a move.
Look at Grayson Harris across midfield, and another first down.
Look at him split these 2 defenders. Hey, that's just quickness right there. Oh, he makes Cooper and another defender run into each other. Oh, my God.
I need to give Chase Willingham, the offensive coordinator from Ennis, a phone call. Dude, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That is the game plan. He is fantastic, man.
You're going to simplify his playbook.
Deep ball. Looking up the sideline for McGowan. Oh, my!
Are you kidding me?
What a catch! Lemarion McGowan! What?
This ball hangs in the air. He has a foot, and these guys are hand fighting all the way down the sideline, but Lemarion McGowan goes up for it, and that's all heart right there to hustle.
He caught the back half of the football.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable. 1st and 10 from the 12. Nowhere to go in the running game for the Ennis Lions, at least in the middle. You saw the one run from Grayson Harris a moment ago as he got to the outside, but it has been tough sledding for Farsi, who carried there, and for Wendarius Jones. They have not been able to find any sort of running room.
No, Farsi is a tough customer. I'm telling you, I said he had little man syndrome, but he's just tough. You know, and he doesn't back down. And with his size, you ask yourself, I mean, he's willing to put his head up in there, and he's trying to bow over defenders. But he has a touch of speed to him as well. I want to see this kid try and bounce one out.
Hinton with pressure over the middle. Harris makes a man miss. Grayson Harris fighting for yardage. Grayson Harris down at the 1.
Gosh. That's just all. He's going to continue to battle. Look at him battling here, man. He has defenders on him, dragging on him, pulling on him. Doesn't lose the ball, but he is trying to take these guys into the end zone as they're tearing his jersey off of him.
1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Grayson Harris. Listen, Ennis is down 27. I get it. But Grayson Harris can play. We have seen that on full display tonight. He's a special talent.
Yeah, fade ball to the out. You know exactly. That's where you go with the ball.
Of course. A flag on the play, but I think the timeout from Waxahachie came prior to the flag.
No flag. Is Waxahachie timeout.
7:24 in the 4th. Wade Lemons with 3 touchdown runs tonight to lead the way for Waxahachie. Well over 100 rushing yards as well. As the Indians led 15-0 at halftime, led 22-0 early on in the third quarter. Finally, the Ennis offense got rolling as Xander Hinton hit Lamarion McGowan for the touchdown pass with 6:01 left in the third quarter to get the offense. And that offense, that drive was impressive for Ennis and was really the first sign of life from this Lions offense here in 2024. But Waxahachie on the very next play from scrimmage had the 63-yard touchdown pass from Meyer to Cohen Brown. And then Waxahachie has added another score on top of that, the Cooper touchdown run from 7 yards out. Ennis with a nice drive here, had the 4th down conversion. Heckma, they're trying to cap it off here and cut it back down to a 3-score game, but they definitely have their work cut out for them. Down 27 with 7:24 to play.
Yeah, this offense just hasn't been able to move the ball as efficiently as you would like, especially in a situation like this. You're going to have to, if you were on the comeback, you'd have to get some quick scores. We just hadn't seen them look like they have the capability to be able to do that. Another flag comes out there on the far side.
Farsi driven back. We'll check the flag. A loss of 3 on the play. They're signaling false start, which should have just killed the play. There shouldn't even be.
Right.
Like, the referee's looking at the Waxahachie sideline.
They're going to repeat the down, clearly.
Yeah, no, well, I think the confusion there, at least for me, is that's a false start. That's a pre-snap penalty.
Kill the play.
There is no play.
Right.
So there is no decision for Shane Tollison whether you want to accept the penalty or not. The decision's made for you. So I'm a little confused as to why the referee was looking near side to ask for Tollison's decision. It will be 1st and goal from the 6. Aiden Jones, the motion man, looking backside wide open for the touchdown for Ennis is Ryder Newman.
And that's great. That's a great play design. They come out with a bunch formation, everybody in tight, and Newman, and at the tight end position, he just leaks out. And an easy pass and catch for Newman.
The 6-yard touchdown hookup. 6:52 here in the 4th. Ennis coming out with their own swinging gait here. Grayson Harris looks like he's going to take the direct snap.
Okay.
And just try and run straight forward and reaches. They're going to say he's short. Just barely short. Harris trying to argue that he stretched it out across the line. Well, another look at it here.
Well, this is 2 on 5. I don't know how this one is going to be successful. That looked good.
I'm not sure he didn't get there.
Yeah, that looked good.
Man. That was awfully close. It will stay 35-14. Again, no replay in Texas high school football until we get to the state championship games. So the ruling on the field is what will stand.
10 p.m. to 12 a.m. we'll go to support your Waxahachie student council. No buying in the tree for them after the game, located at 1107 Ferris Avenue, Waxahachie.
35-14 our score. We got to imagine some sort of onside kick is coming here. One more look at the 2-point conversion to see if Grayson Harris got in. Twisting. Is his knee down?
Oh, they're going to get there.
I don't think anything was down. Elbow, knee, until he reached that out. That looks like a 2-point conversion to me. 35-14 though our score. Be a surprise onside it here. Not that it would be much of a surprise. Waxahachie's got 9 guys within a 10-yard space from the 50 to the 40.
Yeah, Hands team.
They will kick the onside kick. Squibs right into the belly of Tristan Gardner. and it's Indian football.
Yeah, just the way they designed it. Tristan Gardner right there, hands, team, and securing the ball on the onside kick with 6:51. And you ask yourself, do the Indians keep their foot on the pedal? Because to me, it just feels like they have this victory secured with the way that their defense has been playing.
Yeah. That big offensive line of the Waxahachie Indians: Elijah Mendoza, Justin Williams, Ty Campa, Daryl Martin, Gavin Ford, Malik Dismuke out there right now, the sophomore, 6'3", 260. They got some beef up front, and that's something that Shane Tollison really felt like, hey, that's part of why we might be able to make a jump this year, is because of the size that they have. They run the reverse here, and look at all the running room up the near sideline for Deshaun Curley. That's Jeremy Curley's son, the old New York Giant, taking off running, just a sophomore. They like this kid's talent too and what his future looks like.
And a lot of speed on that misdirection, getting himself around that edge. We've seen that play 3 times here tonight. I think that's the biggest gain we've seen so far on that play.
1st and 10, Waxahachie at the 23. Comment here from Mr. Nash 1959 said, and he's an Ennis fan, I'm sure, based on what the conversation I've been seeing him having in the YouTube chat. As the handoff here goes to Lemons and he hops out of bounds. He got sideways with something.
Yeah, another cramp.
I think it looked like his shoe almost fell off, but yeah, it might just be another cramp.
Yeah, these guys are going to be fighting the cramps, man.
Yeah, he just told one of the athletic trainers he was good. The comment here from Mr. Nash, and I feel like this is a salient point. He said, we can't judge our season on winning tonight. If we do, we're in trouble. That's a very fair point. This is a 5A D2 program playing a big 6A school that went to the 6A D1 playoffs a year ago. It's not... That's a really nice play by Kingston Parker to take down Lanier for no gain, maybe a loss of a yard.
Coming off the edge for number 42. Again, this guy's been playing like lights out the entire game. Just look, man, this game has gotten away from him and not much impact there for number 42.
But to that point, you put Grayson Harris and the talent that they have on the outside, Lamarion McGowan, and give a little bit more experience to Xander Hinton in 5A D2, in 6-5A D2 in district play.
Oh, yeah.
This is an Ennis team that's going to have a pretty good season, I think.
Yeah, they're going to be a challenge for a lot of people. And
down goes Meyer. Woo. Sacked from behind. Xavier Collins, he's a young man who's going to be the leader of this Ennis defense this year. The defense hadn't had a great night, but this kid can play.
No, he absolutely can, and you see him come on the blitz, and finally some pressure gets through. I mean, this offensive line for Waxahachie has been stonewalling this entire game. These guys up front have played magnificent, and finally Xavier Collins, a guy that we came in anticipating was going to have a big night tonight, finally gets through and gets a stop. Tackle for a loss.
And he had a pair of sacks a year ago. He's got one there of Jerry Meyer, and it's 4th down and 17. They've got to get to the 13-yard line to move the sticks. Well out of field goal range, so they're going to take a shot. Look at the laser over the middle. 1st down and then some. Inside the 10-yard line for Cohen Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry Meyer, sophomore quarterback. Kid can sling it.
Yeah, that's good money right there. We've been seeing it this whole time. Him just finding those little spots in the zone and delivering it. Man, this kid has a really high football IQ, and that's the one thing that I love about seeing him. Not only that, when we go back and look at the tape, his footwork is impeccable. The way that he maneuvers in the pocket. And look, I know I was trying to get you to say something earlier. I will just say this, okay? I think he's going to surprise a lot of teams, and there may be a big upset in the District of Doom. Not calling out anybody. I'm just saying it may be a big upset.
Up the middle, and Wade Lemons has number 4. He had 8 last year. He's halfway to that total after week 1.
Well, you did
Touchdown, Waxahachie.
You did it again because that's Lanier.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no.
You did
Bryson Lanier, I am so sorry, my friend.
You did it again.
His first touchdown run of the year. Bryson Lanier, you're a fantastic runner yourself. Oh, my goodness, I am so sorry.
It's all good.
Wade Lemons and Bryson Lanier, y'all are twins, my man. Just
the same guy.
Tearing up this defense and just got me twisted sideways. I'm sorry, guys.
Hey, no way to tell one from another, Mike. I'm telling you.
Just the number on the back of his jersey.
That's it. It's just the same running style these guys run with. It's
goodness.
easy to confuse those two. I didn't want you to look up and just say, oh, my God, that's Lanier. It's all right.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, I gave you credit with being in mid-season form. I'm going to take that back a
little bit. Oh, my. Yeah, not quite, my man. Not quite.
Hey, the referees, the band, everybody's trying to get in form here. It's going to be a long season. We're going to be doing a lot of these.
Oh, goodness. Bryson Lanier with the touchdown run, and Waxahachie has opened this thing up now. 42-14 the score with 4:19 to play in the fourth quarter.
I tell you, I'm a big fan of Coach Tolleson. After our conversation with him, man, just knowing that he's a dad of a Texas high school football player, and hey, we kind of had a meeting of the minds in that conversation because he knows that, as I told him, I said, look, I got a son that's playing varsity wide receiver, and man, hey, my quote was, I'm going to pray for you, you pray for me, because I know it's probably just as hard being a coach and having your son on the same team. And man, he imparted some great wisdom to me that I think I took to heart. I wrote it down, and I want to make sure that I do that as well. And he's just like, he's one of those great guys, man. And his words to me was, look, man, I just want to make sure that I have more in common with my son than just football. And I thought that resonated with me as a dad, because man, I'm, after playing Division I ball and having a son that aspires to do the same thing, it's a pressure cooker. They always eager to please and letting you know that, look, they're working just as hard. But the thing about it is these are young men at the end of the day, and obviously this game is a lot of pressure to play it. I just want to be able to meet him where he is to make sure that I'm answering all of those questions for him as a dad and not as someone that has expectations of him as a player. So, like I said, I'm a big fan of Shane Tolleson because he's level-headed and look, as a dad first, he's able to lead these men but also keep perspective on everything.
On 1st and 10, Hinton throwing near side, incomplete.
Pass intended for number 13, Johnson.
Some backups on the field for both teams at this point in a 28-point game. To that end, do we have a score update on Coppell Saxby? I know your son is playing tonight.
I haven't looked. I haven't looked. I haven't looked. I'm trying to stay away right now. I'm trying to focus on where I am. Keep my feet where they are. But
listen, I hear you, but you and I are both battling that right now because you're trying to worry about your son playing his first varsity game tonight for Saxby. Heck, I might have a son somewhere in the next 48 to 72 hours. I'm waiting on that phone call, so we don't know boy or girl, but heck, I might be following you and Coach Tolleson down that path sometime in the not too distant future. So both of us are a bit
got to get our antennas up, man. It's a lot going on. I think, you know what, and just being fair, I think you got a lot more pressure on you than me. So, yeah. So, Mrs. Leslie, we're praying for you, and good luck.
Oh, that ball came out. I think he was already down. It's recovered by Ennis.
Oh, he's down.
And Xander Hinton does stay down after the play after he was twisted to the ground.
Yeah, twisted around.
He's back on his feet. Looks to be okay.
That looked bad.
I saw, Kylan Johnson get up and start signaling, hey, come here. And I was worried that there was something really wrong. He was signaling to Jackson Johnson, one of the other wide receivers.
I saw that too. I was like, well, he's pointing towards the wrong bench.
Yeah.
The bench is the other way.
Hinton does come off for a play at the very least. Grayson Harris is going to take this snap from quarterback. 3rd down and 11. And he'll look to go to the air. Fires near side, just beyond the grasp of the intended target, Caden Griffin, and it's 4th down.
And that may be a wrinkle also for the Ennis Lions, that they have to switch things up and get Grayson Harris involved at the quarterback also to make defenses back up a little bit.
Yeah. They will have Caden Griffin punt this one with Hinton on the sideline. Hinton is on his feet on the far side, but getting looked at. Low snap. Nice job by Griffin to be able to catch it and get the punt away. It'll bounce out of bounds at the 48-yard line. And Waxahachie will take over there. Looking ahead for these two teams, Ennis plays Midlothian and Burleson Centennial in non-district play over the next 2 weeks. Then in district, they are in 6-5 AD2 this year with Kaufman, Midlothian Heritage, Greenville, Terrell, Crandall, Mesquite, Poteet, and Corsicana in that order this year for the Ennis Lions schedule. That Ennis at Midlothian Heritage game just a little further up 287 in 4 weeks' time, September 27th. That may well be your district championship game in 6-5 AD2. That looks to be your two top teams in the district. Obviously, you know, Terrell may have some things to say about that, maybe Crandall. But it looks to be, at least preseason, like that's your top two teams in that district. They run this little reverse once again. This time again it comes to Curley. That ball came out at the end of the play, popped up over the head of another Indian, Lamondrick Daniels. Pickup of 7 on the play. 3 minutes left in this one. Make sure to flip over to WFAA tonight at 10:15 for high school game night as part of the 10 o'clock news. Joe Trahan is up at the Argyle-Frisco Lone Star game tonight, a battle of top 10 teams in 5A Division II. Michelle Montaigne, our new reporter, out at the Dallas Jesuit, this is testing my memory, Hebron game. Dallas Jesuit Hebron game tonight. She'll have highlights from that one. Joe's got the highlights of his game and some others around the area. I'll jump on and do some highlights of this game tonight in a little over a half an hour's time. Penalty here on Waxahachie prior to 2nd down and 4, so it'll be 2nd and 9. Looking ahead for Waxahachie, we mentioned their non-district slate. Coppell and Forney the next 2 weeks. Duncanville and DeSoto, their first 2 district games on the 20th and 27th before their bye week. Then Mesquite, Horn, Cedar Hill, Skyline, Lancaster, and Mesquite. Up the middle on the run, a 1st down for Waxahachie.
Well, I couldn't help but look at the Dallas Morning News, and it looks like Saxe's losing 24-10 to
24-10?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Long season ahead. A lot of time for Lil Heck Harrison Jr. to go out there and make some plays for Saxe this year at the wide receiver spot.
Yeah.
Playing opposite, by the way, one of the best wide receivers in the country.
Absolutely.
Oh, my.
That kid is a treat to watch. And Kalik Lockett, 5-star, everything, the University of Texas commit. And
if memory serves, Kalik Lockett, who we're talking about, the number 2 wide receiver in the state, only behind DeCorian Moore at Duncanville.
Yeah. And DeCorian Moore going to the University of Oregon.
A little bit of a surprise, that commitment that came down earlier this summer.
Yeah, big time commits, man. These wide receivers here in North Texas, man, so much talent. We're going to see so many great quarterbacks this year. Get an opportunity to see, we're at Duncanville next week. Man, there's just a lot of great talent that we are going to cover here on WFAA. Looking forward to the schedule. We started it off with a bang for sure.
Nolan Bernard in there at quarterback here for Waxahachie. Getting some experience late in a 4-touchdown game, throwing deep and intercepted Kiki Tarrant with the pick, and he'll look to return here. Tarrant out across the 20, some speed across the 30, and it's Bernard, the quarterback, who threw the pick, who makes the tackle to end the return for Kiki Tarrant. Give you a look ahead to next week. You mentioned it, Duncanville and South Oak Cliff. Oh, I beg your pardon. This is looking back one more time. This is the Waxahachie State Championship from 1992. Let's go ahead and give you a look at this, because this is something the Waxahachie fans certainly would love to relive, certainly would love to hope that maybe Shane Tollison's building a program that can go do this kind of thing again. 3 touchdown runs that day for quarterback Lamont Moore. The touchdown run late from Sammy Overton gave them the lead, 28-24, coming back to beat the defending champion A&M Consolidated that year for the title in 1992, and that Waxahachie team went 16-0, the best team in program history, and they have a plaque right outside here at Lumpkin Stadium celebrating that program. This year's team will start 1-0. Undercut on the run is Desmond Johnson.
If this team goes 16-0, boy, they are going to be legendary here in Waxahachie. And they have so much tough opposition on that schedule, but I know you got to trust that this is a team that can deal with it. One of the things that I'm definitely confident in is their quarterback, Jerry Meyer III. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome him to Texas high school football. He put on a show here today.
He absolutely did, as did this Waxahachie team as a whole. And the Indians start the year 1-0 with a 42-14 win. The sign will stay in Waxahachie. The Battle of 287 goes to the Indians once again, and this time in dominant fashion. Shane Tollison has got himself something percolating down here in Ellis County.
Well, not only the offense, and I mean, I can go on and on and on about Waby and the way that he played. He's so tough as an inside runner. He has a running mate with him as well. Bryson Lanier, can't tell them apart. Guys on the outside really do a good job. Cohen Brown showed me his speed on that one score again. He takes a ball 60 yards untouched on just a simple five-yard route. But the other part to me that I think is so important is that defense. As you see the 287 sign making its way around the track, and that's
they
basically
just planted
saying,
it.
Yeah, that's basically saying this thing is here to stay. It's going to be right here on our campus.
Jacob Irvin, the senior defensive tackle, went and planted that thing on the Waxahachie side, where it has been now for a couple years. They will keep the sign here in Waxahachie for one more year. 42-14 the final score tonight. Wade Lemons with 3 touchdown runs. Bryson Lanier and Demarion Cooper both with touchdown runs. Jerry Meyer with his first touchdown pass as a Waxahachie Indian to Cohen Brown. And a very impressive showing from Shane Tollison's club as they will start the year 1-0. Ennis gets a couple of touchdown passes from their new quarterback, the junior Xander Hinton, Lamarion McGowan, and Ryder Newman on the receiving end of those two. It looks like Ennis has got something building themselves this year. Again, they're punching up a couple weight classes tonight. This rivalry has been... Sam Harrell sent me a text earlier today just to kind of illustrate the way that the towns have changed. The numbers within the two football programs now very different than it was once upon a time. Waxahachie has well over 400 players within their football program. Ennis has 152. Yeah. 431 for Waxahachie. Ennis has 152. And that's not to make any excuses or what, and he's not trying to do that either, but it's just to illustrate Waxahachie as a town has really grown in the last certainly 10 years, maybe even beyond that. Ennis hasn't grown with the same fervor, and it's now a 5A D2 program. Ennis, or Waxahachie rather, is now this big 6A. They're very different programs at this point. All of that to say, Ennis losing 42-14 tonight is not necessarily indicative of the season they're going to have. They've got some talent out there. We saw Grayson Harris and Lamarion McGowan make some serious plays tonight. There's something that Sam Harrell and his team have got to work with going forward.
Yeah, and it's location for Waxahachie. And this is talk about a program and a school and school district that's thinking about incorporating another high school. That's how many kids that they have here at their school. But here's my point. I think that Waxahachie came in with the pressure on them as a 6A school. If they gave up any ground or showed that they were inferior in talent, I think the ears go up of everybody else in 6A. They treated this team exactly the way that they needed to. They had to show up and show that they were a powerhouse team in this district, in 6A, and deal with them accordingly. They put them to bed early, right? And you love to see that from a team that obviously is trying to make the next step to be taking and put into the same breath as the Duncanville and the DeSotos. They have a lot of tough games ahead. Your next game is against a Capel team that has a great quarterback, a great defense, and a great wide receiving group. And after that, you got Forney. Forney is a great team as well. And so there's going to be some opposition that's going to come up down the road that you're going to be tested. But right now, as I'm looking at it, they have all the playmakers. And on that defense, I was trying to mention the guy in Jordan Tolbert, but also Jaquan Snell, the sophomore. As you talked about that kid, man, he is lights out. Cade Pointer, the secret. We won't talk about him, but I will say this. He is a player that I think the secret is out. That, look, you've got to get somebody out there to deal with a kid like that. But last but not least, Jeremiah III. I mean, look, if there was any questions in the conversation that we had with Coach Tolleson, they've all been answered tonight.
No question about it. Looking ahead to next week, Duncanville and South Oak Cliff, two of the standard-bearer programs in Texas high school football. Duncanville, the defending champs in 6A D1. Sock has played for a title each of the last 3 years, winning 2 of them. They certainly want to get back and reclaim what they believe is rightfully theirs. Both these two teams giving each other a test 1 week from tonight, right here on Friday Night Football.
I just got to say this. I'm so torn about this game. I'm torn in half. I don't know how I feel about it. You know, I got my brother Jason Todd on one side, and it's almost like I got my dad on the other side, and Reginald Sample. So, look, it's a family affair next Friday, and I'm just, oh, man, that's going to be a good one. You talk about those two teams. Duncanville winning state last year, South Oak Cliff missing by a call last year at AT&T Stadium. Look, Jason Todd is unrelenting in his pursuit for state titles. He has the talent to get back, and that's another one of those 5A, 6A games where you think, look, the 6A team should be able to handle their opponents. And I'll tell you what, South Oak Cliff has a lot of talent and a lot of speed to be able to compete in that game.
A few years ago, those games were like 59-3. They keep getting closer and closer and closer. So South Oak Cliff's got something working. We'll see if they can. If they do that, they'd shock the state. They would. As good as South Oak Cliff is, that would be shocking. Let's give you a look at our complete season schedule going forward, because we got some bangers coming as this season rolls on. Back-to-back weeks with number 2 versus number 1 in the state. 5A D1, Denton Ryan at Aledo on October the 4th. And the biggest public high school football game in America in 2024's regular season, Duncanville at DeSoto on October the 11th. Those two games just by themselves are worth the price of admission. And there's some really good ones on here as well that we are very excited for. Forney Rockwall, to me, is a sneaky, exciting game that I'm looking forward to being out there for. Colleyville Heritage, Argyle, 2 teams in the top 10 in 5A D2. I'm intrigued certainly by next week and the other non-district game that we've got, Denton Guyer, North Crowley. There's a lot of really interesting football games to come this season. November 1st and November 8th, still TBD. We'll figure that out as the year goes along.
I got a couple games.
I know, right? We've already kind of like, there's a couple that could work. We try to spread the love as best we can, but I know I'm picking up what you're putting down. And Waxahachie Lancaster on November 1st. Looks like it might be a pretty good football game. That's got my radar up, if nothing else.
Yeah, North Crowley in that Denton Guyer game. Chris Jimerson at North Crowley. Ray Gates, man, he is building something after being eliminated by Duncanville last year in the semifinals. They're getting closer and closer out in, what do they call, Goon Crowley or Goonworth, or what are they calling it out there? But at Goon City, Goon City, and it's North Crowley versus everybody. It's not just a name, it is a lifestyle.
Denton Geyer's got a quarterback too, by the way. Kevin Sperry played at Prosper Rock Hill, if memory serves, then went to Oklahoma for a year. Now he's back to Texas, transferred into Denton Geyer. He's going to be the quarterback for the Wildcats. If he's as good as everybody says he is, and he was really good when he was a freshman and sophomore at Rock Hill, Geyer might be better than the 38th best team in the state in 6A, and that game might be more interesting than everybody thinks it is today. Today here in Waxahachie, though, it is the Waxahachie Indians that get the win. Ennis falls to 0-1 to start the year. Waxahachie keeps the Battle of 287 sign right here in Waxahachie. A 42-14 win to cap it off. Wade Lemons with 3 touchdown runs to lead the way. And the Indians start the year 1-0. For our entire Friday Night Football team, our director Clay Marshall, our photographers Graham Rayner and Cody Pryor, Heckma Harrison alongside, I'm Mike Leslie. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight for the season premiere of Friday Night Football. So much more to come this season.